All right. Hello. Welcome to In Your Ear Radio After Dark. I am your host, Latoya. I'm so happy to be with you this evening. Very excited about the show. It's been a minute since we did our After Dark. We can let our hair down and do some things we don't normally do during the daytime show. So it's a grown folk show. And y'all know how I do. I have to share the live. So while I do that, gives you guys a chance to get on. Let me see. And how are you guys doing tonight? Christmas is over. Hallelujah. Yeah, I'm glad Christmas is over. All right, so that is shared. Okay, so good show tonight. You guys get ready in the chat. Get ready to think of a drink word for the night as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I see you, Shant, on Facebook. How you doing? You up? You still up? That's what's up. So again, thank you for joining me tonight. Again, like I said, we have a jam-packed show. I'm so happy to be here tonight with my crew, Miss Trish and first caller, and a host of a wealth of guests. Also, a lot of information. We got a lot to share, so we're gonna try to squeeze it all in. We're gonna bust it out in 2 hours. But we're gonna get it in, you guys. So we got a lot to talk about. I'm just real happy to be with you guys. So let me go ahead and get my girl on, my day one, aka Miss Trish, aka Pieces of Sheet, aka my rider. How you doing?
Hey, Miss Toya, what's up? How you been?
I'm well, hanging in here. So happy to be well and happy to see you. You look so pretty.
Thank you. You too, as usual.
Thank you. I try to get dressed up because I don't go nowhere. So when it's time, I put on my little blouse and stuff,
Well, I think, listen, I ain't been nowhere all day. So I got in the shower, put my clothes on, got my little lips together. So yeah, I get
Ain't it crazy though how we shower when we doing Zoom and we still freshen up. We still got an etiquette about our stuff, right?
You just feel better.
Makes
the conversation flow.
I agree. So, I like to be crispy for y'all. So also we have joining us first caller. How you doing? Yay.
First caller, what's up?
What's cracking? How you feeling?
I think you're on mute.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. Fine. Okay, how you doing?
I'm good. How y'all?
Listen, blessed. I'm happy. Happy to be with y'all tonight. Like I was telling everybody, we have a jam-packed show. We got lots of guests and a lot to talk about. So let's just jump right into it. Thank you all who are joining us on Facebook Live and on YouTube. I love and appreciate y'all. So I'm just gonna start off by saying rest in peace, Ecstasy of Houdini. If y'all don't know about him, the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night.
2020 has done us in.
2020 is the devil. I just said it out loud the other day. I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop trying to feel bullied by 2020. Just call it what it is, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy. But rest in peace. I don't know his cause of death, but I think he was 56 years old. 2 days before Christmas. It's rough. We all gotta go, but it's just sad, when people just abruptly just leave us, don't give us no warning and that, no time to prepare.
Right.
So
right.
That's what's messed up. But how was the Christmas? Everybody have a good Christmas?
Yes, definitely.
It was good. It was low-key quiet, which I like.
Super quiet over here. Listen, I didn't buy no gift. And like I said, that is priceless. I'll just I love people. I do turn into a Scrooge during the holidays. I get mad about people being stressed about something that it's just a holiday, just
you go Jehovah's Witness on Christmas?
Yeah, I take my whole religion on them. Didn't have one, but I got one. I'm Jehovah's Witness.
Right,
so
right.
I'm gonna celebrate them too. For sure. So yeah, it was cool, nice and quiet and peaceful, and just grateful that we were here to see it, to see another day. But today is the first day of the celebration of Kwanzaa. So that's what's up. So Habari Ghani and Swahili means what's the news, and what is it? Ujoma. Ujoma is the first day, and it means unity. And hopefully we can use this time to just think about what unity means to us and how we can use unity to impact change, whatever it may be, small scale, large scale, something that will make a difference. People will remember you by. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Erykah Badu has a song, I want to say it's called 3000 AD, but the lyrics are, they won't be naming no buildings after me to go down to palliate it. And I love those lyrics because a lot of us are like unsung heroes, right? We do things in life, but they won't be naming no buildings after us. You know what I'm saying? But we do it humbly and with honor. So shout out to Erykah Badu and that song and y'all who are impacting change on this first day of Kwanzaa. Did y'all see Too Short versus E40?
40 water. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was in and out, but I definitely saw all of the memes with E40. He was on that. Awesome. He was on that good.
Awesome. He had the time of his life. He had the time of his life. It was awesome. I'm gonna tell you something. I've always been this way, but I kind of cringe with Too Short. I love his music, but I realized just listening to his catalog, and I know it was just a select song, he really talks down towards women. Like he doesn't, really say anything celebratory about us. A couple of B's, you just feeling yourself.
A couple.
We grown folks, but every song. I mean, E40 wasn't sounding like that, but still, I just want to mention that.
They both pioneers in their own right, though. They definitely pioneers.
Of course. I was there for it. I was there for it still. I was there for it,
Right.
But it is what it is. So you guys, again, we do have a jam-packed show. We're going to get into these current affairs, and we're going to get into some more in the second hour because I know, the conversation we want to have tonight is going to be fun. I mean, we have a lot of conversations, but we know we're going to get into the nitty-gritty and talk about some things that matter, and we're also going to talk about some things that don't. Y'all figure out what that is. But think about the drink of the night.
Shit that matters and shit that don't.
Thank you, Miss
Trick.
Are you
forgetting?
I hear that.
Good. I'm using my Jehovah's Witness voice. Let's get out of character. Christmas over.
Christmas is over.
That's so funny. So, I want to bring up, with the stimulus and everything that's going on right now, they might send $600 with this stimulus plan, and then $300 extra with unemployment ending today. That was confusing to me. Yeah. I needed to dig into that more. I'm like, how does it just end? Don't you have a time frame? Everybody end at the same time on the same day? Like, I got questions. But I think about, the stimulus package because you have, unemployment, and you also have the paycheck protection program, the PPP program. And word on the street is a lot of people are taking advantage in a risky way with the PPP and the unemployment. And, the feds is watching.
Yeah, you know they are. The
feds is watching because we don't have much time to get into the details. But what I want to say to people, though, and I know first caller and Miss Trish, I know you guys might want to have something to say on it as well. But you guys, it's called like a laugh now, cry later type of situation. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? What say you, Miss Trish?
I mean, as far as the stimulus package, I think that what they're trying to give us, whether it's $600 or $2,000, I think that's a joke. Either way, this one-time lump sum, is a joke. These people take out thousands, millions of dollars out of all of our paychecks. You know what I'm saying? Each paycheck. And I think to give us a one-time lump sum, 600, 2,000, whatever, to me is a slap in the face. But I mean, hey, we go for it, right? We don't do anything about it. We just go for the shit that they try to send our way, and then that's it. As far as the unemployment, honestly, I think that they need to fill these jobs. I mean, if there's jobs that's vacant, send somebody, hey, I got 15 people, hire somebody. You know what I mean? The government maybe need to make them hire these people.
Yeah.
That's on unemployment. If they're putting in application after application because they have to I think they have to prove, right, that they're putting in applications or whatever. They should be guaranteed if they're on unemployment, at least an
right. Because if you go to the unemployment office, it shows, I mean, businesses list that they are looking for work, right? People to come work. So like you said, the work is there if they're filling out an application.
Yeah. If there's vacant jobs and unemployed people, like that's something is wrong and they need to fix that, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So, but I also think that there's vacant jobs, but just not the funds to pay for those positions. You know what I mean? I think a lot of those positions was lost due to the pandemic. Yeah. A lot of companies just can't find a way to pay new employees. And that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
That's why like a lot of those people who's participating in that fraud with those PPP loans, you're going to jail. You know, it's just a matter of time.
And guess who's going first?
Hey, look.
We already know, right?
Look, yeah.
Listen, as of October 7, 2020, the Department of Justice has criminally charged 65 people with loan fraud connected to $225 million in PPP funds. Okay, so that sounds like a small number, but the time, baby, a maximum of a $1 million fine and 30 years in federal prison. That goes for loan application fraud, also for federal bank fraud. Tax evasion, you can get 5 years in prison and a fine of $100,000 is possible.
Right.
Listen, even under the civil and prison and fine, under the civil enforcement portion of the False Claims Act, possible penalties are treble damages and fines up to $23,000 per false claim. That's per false claim.
Right.
So you say you have more employees than you know. And
what's so cool about it? It's a loan, so you got to pay that money back anyways.
Yeah.
Some of it's loans and some of it's grants.
Yeah.
They're probably a lot more harsh on the grants.
Right.
I'm thinking, because that's just, I'm not going to say free money, but, you know, as long as you use it for whatever they say you're using it, you know, you need it for, then I think you'll be okay. But where y'all president at? He golfing? Where you at?
Listen, I like the fact that I don't know nothing about him right now. You know, he calling bluff with this $2,000. Y'all need to get at people $2,000. Dude, you sound like Cube just showing up at the last minute with that mess.
Wait, look at first caller.
That's why I said.
That's his boy.
I've been trying to play devil's advocate. And I think Cube took a lot of unfair criticism, I believe. I still believe that. But you know, that's all. We'll leave it there.
Listen. Okay, people show you their colors, you just believe them. Okay, they're real colors. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a lot tied into that. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to this unemployment fraud. Another thing to think about. I'm not trying to knock anybody's hustle. I just want you to know
right.
what the repercussions and consequences, and it's up to you to make the decision. But even with the unemployment fraud, you are affecting someone who really needs it. Some people can't even get their insurance because of these investigations that take maybe 6 months or longer because someone has used their name unlawfully. So people can't pay their rent. It's a domino effect. You know, they can't pay their rent. They can't pay their bills. They can't feed their family. They robbing Peter to pay Paul because they waiting on this unemployment because of the investigations and, you know, all the red tape that's involved because there's fraud out there. So you think this money don't belong to people, but actually, we pay into it. You know, we pay into this and it's there for us for that reason. It's one of those socialistic things that we have in the United States in a capitalistic society. But it works. But, you know, you just know that you are affecting real lives when you do get involved with that, if that's something you care about. So, again, you guys, I don't know. Did y'all have something y'all needed to rant about? I'm really excited about honoring a Black woman entrepreneur tonight. I can't wait to big her up. But you guys got anything you want to get off your chest?
Say no to the vaccine. That's all.
Okay, so you make a good point. And why is that? Like, what is your I guess hold up with the vaccine or your caveat with the vaccine?
I mean, honestly, I don't really have a lot of scientific evidence if that's what you're looking for or whatever. But honestly, one of the biggest things for me was Dr. Fauci talking to his African-American brothers and sisters and letting us know that an African-American woman created this vaccine and we should take it. Shit. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
These people ain't never been worried about us.
Right.
So I'm good. I'm good on the vaccine. I'll just be like number 325 million on the list.
Yeah, right.
Let me just cut in a minute because I got people on Facebook. Shout out. I see you, girl. She's saying that they're tracing the address. We were talking about the PP loans and unemployment. Also on Facebook, we have a comment. Okay, that's from Shanta. I'm sorry, I probably need to put on my glasses, but they don't care about taking from others. They won't even wear masks. Listen, you're right about that, but
that's true.
If they do care or the time, some people don't care about the time, but yeah. So the vaccine, first caller, you signed up. What's up?
Oh, nah. I'm watching from afar. I ain't paying no attention to none of that. I've never got a flu shot.
What's your reasoning?
Because you just can't trust them people. You know what I mean? And then I don't never volunteer for anything first. I was that guy in class. I got the answer. I'll wait to raise my hand. I want to see what everybody else going to say first anyway. Yeah. So I'm like you, Trish. I'm going to wait till half the country get it and see what's going on. Then say, okay. But hell, if they can eradicate it without me, they don't need me.
Right? And they got 2 different new strains came out. So we got to get a vaccine for that shit too? No, fuck all that.
Right.
No. I'm good.
The government, they make it hard to trust you.
Yeah. Listen, speaking of hard to trust, y'all heard about the Capella console? It's a new satellite that is orbiting Earth that can create high resolution images to where it even radiates through the clouds where they can take pictures of buildings and inside your home. Yeah.
I believe it.
Pervert. Yeah, I mean, I've been,
they want to see what goes on at night.
Yeah.
Right.
Pervs.
Yeah. So, it's a powerful enough they say that it's the same technology that NASA has been using since the 70s. And this particular company is getting government contracts. So now all your data is being shared through Big Brother and the mark of the beast that y'all be worried about. So, and it's been going on. But Capella insists that the technology can't be used to spy on people in their homes. And although the radar waves can penetrate walls, they cannot image anything inside.
I ain't buying that.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So I don't know. I'm kind of just like, I happen to exist in a time where we watched on TV when this was futuristic. I actually am living in those times in real time. So it's really something. Denise wants to add in some of the conversation talking about the vaccine. She says, we are the people who need the vaccine the most. And it is sad that we live in a country where the history tells us that we can't trust our government to have our best interests.
Well, I agree with that.
Right, yeah,
I agree with all that. I do.
100%.
I agree.
It's a trip because she's saying how we need it the most, right? I remember once upon a time how they were saying we couldn't get it. Now all of a sudden, it affected us the most.
Yeah.
Man, gotta watch these people.
So for you guys that are just tuning in, again, we have a jam-packed show today. I'm going to be honoring a Black woman entrepreneur. I want to salute, big up our women because I know how hard it is working and being an entrepreneur, believing in your dreams and, believing that other people will believe in your dreams. So I can't wait to big her up. Also, we have 2 kings and 1 queen. I can't wait. Look, I got my drink ready. Do y'all have y'all word? I need y'all to be prepped. This called Blue Ocean, baby. What? Y'all right now. This Blue Ocean, baby. Y'all better get with it. Okay, so have your word of the night so we can go ahead and have our word and start sipping. Also, what else? Oh, and then we got Queen G in the second hour. She's gonna be, wrapping up the 2020 with us, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say about all this. I mean, we got our stories. I'm envisioning it as something like, what's that one rapper who wrap up every year? What's his name?
Styles or something.
Skills, right? Matt Skills.
Skills. Yeah, he never disappoints. He gives us the whole rundown. I wonder what he got to say. I hope he's still around as well because the way things is happening in 2020, right?
For real.
It could be in ICU or just not here or with us.
In somebody's hallway in the hospital, ain't in the room, just in the bed in the hallway. Yeah, that's happening. No, for real. That's the real.
You broke it down. So so we got a lot to talk about, and I'm just happy to be with you guys tonight and just wrap this up. So, the thing about entrepreneurship, the thing that people don't realize is being independent is you don't know. It's like being a salesperson. You work to get that money each week. It's not like you have a set wage. You come in and put in these hours. It's like you have to see the project through before you get paid. When you're working in a company where you're getting a paycheck, you're going to get paid, period, whether the job get done, because you already have a contract, to get paid hourly. So it's a real hustle. And I think the best of them are able to succeed because, hey, listen, that's how you're going to eat, right? So when you see someone, have a dream, manifest a dream, and keep working at it, and they still able to eat, whatever that struggle may look like, they still keeping their head above water. It's an amazing thing. I take it all the way back to Oprah. She was one of the people who inspired me. She came in from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? She came from the bottom, like literally from the South. Her story is deep, but she worked really hard independently to get herself to a place to where she is now. And I always looked up to her for that, because she showed that you don't have to just belong to a corporation. You can go out and do your own thing. So that was always special to me. And I could think of a lot of other great women. And so again, with this woman that we're going to bring on tonight, she's just, doing her thing. Whatever she says she wants to do, she just goes out and do it. And I just want her to tell her story and talk about, what drives her, how does she get to where she is and where she plans to go. So let's big up Miss E Carrice, aka Fine Ass E Carrice.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So I'm thinking you that was your title, Fine Ass E Carrice. Would you just woke up one day and said, I'm fine, hell, I'm just gonna go ahead and let the world know?
You know what? Not at all. At the very first radio station I was at, there was this guy that would come in all the time, and he would be like, "Oh, we go." He would always be like, "Oh, what's up, Fine Ass E Carrice?" And he kept saying it, and other people heard him say it. So then everybody started saying fine ass. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and take. I am a fine ass.
That's right. That's right. Claim it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Listen, you have to big up yourself, period. If you don't think that you all of that, ain't nobody else gonna think you all of that, right?
Hey, listen, I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, I believe that sometimes, like, so I don't know, did you all watch this video with the gentleman from the podcast that was talking about the girl she said she was 5, and oh my gosh, how could you guys not have watched this? So the gentleman was super, I would say he was rude, to her, but she got on the podcast and he asked her, so what do you think? Why do you think you're not getting men who are, in a 6-figure bracket? And then he asked her what she thought she was on a scale of 1 to 10. She said a 5. And I felt like she personally exuded that 5 energy. So had she in her own mind thought that she was a 10, you know what I mean? She may have exuded that energy. So I think that, I think you're right. You have to, understand who you are and what your number is.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I agree with you on that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I was raised to think that I was the shit, right? So I've just always felt that, always was that, and I just am that. So, that's just what it is.
Right.
Okay,
damn,
the
somebody else
shit-ass
said.
Indeed.
That's what's up. So if y'all don't know, E Carrice, aka Fine Ass E Carrice, is the owner and founder of Hot 702.5 FM.
Correct.
And you look at it, because I remember, I'm just gonna go back to my story. Even before I knew that you were into radio, I always, even as a kid, wanted to get into radio. I always said that, but I never took this. I did do the research on how to do it, but I never took that big step and actually just going and doing it. But I remember you had your premiere show, Risky Radio, and you invited me, and I was like, this is what I've been wanting to do. It's just right here. I could come do it. And so I just, since then, I just been pushing through, and I just want to thank you, because I think that's just the way it was supposed to be. You were there at the right time to put me where I needed to be and show me that was tangible. And it's a passion, it's been in my heart to do all the time. So I just want to thank you for just leading the way in that way, blazing a trail for your sister. Spoiler alert. Y'all didn't know. I'm big sis. Right. That's little sis. But I just want to thank you for that. But what got you into doing radio?
I never thought I wanted to do radio. So if we go back to, it's almost been 6 years now. So 6 years ago, I was working for Sprint as an executive marketer, and I was making $25,000 a month. I was balling out of control. I was single and, had everything that I wanted, travel everywhere I want. And they announced they were going to do a layoff. So that was like September of like 2004. They announced they were going to do a layoff, and they held our checks. Like when I tell you, they held like our checks. How do you hold my check? You know what I mean?
Right.
So at that point, I was like, yeah, no one's going to be in control of my money ever again. So I just want you. They held our checks for 2 months. So that made me think that at that point, I'm thinking like my coworkers got 3 kids. They got a wife. They have a whole family. I'm like, I'm good. It's just me, but I'm thinking like they're holding all of our checks, and we're all used to making $25,000, $40,000 a month. Like this is not, so we're used to that lifestyle. So I said to myself, you know what? I'll never allow anyone to be in control of my money ever again. So I decided at that point I was going to transition myself out, and I was by December, I was already prepared to go. I started my consulting business. During that time, I also started a dating experiment called 20 Dates in 30 Days. Mm-hmm. So I launched this experiment. I went on 20 Dates in 30 Days because my friends felt like dating in Vegas sucked. And I'm like, are y'all really going on dates, or are y'all linking up at the bar? So one night I built a website. I went ahead and launched it. People could go to the website, book dates. When people found out about that, they started asking me to come be on their radio show. So I would go interview on the radio show, and then people would be like, oh my God, you should really do radio. So I said, you know what? I think that, this might be something that I should really look into. I've always spoken in front of people. I would give keynotes at CES. I would, do all of these different things in front of, large crowds. So it was me speaking in public was never an issue. So I would go do these. And the last couple of interviews I did, they asked me, they're like, hey, you should really come and be part of this radio station. And I thought about it. I talked to my friend, Will Roundtree, because we actually work together. A lot of people know Will from doing credit, things like that. But we would be in the office together, and I said, hey, Will, these people ask me to do the radio. What you think? He's like, I think you should do it. And he was so shy. Like I would do his stuff for him. So he was so shy. Now you can't get him to be quiet. But he basically encouraged me to, go ahead and say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I launched the radio show. Actually, what happened first is I took over a friend of mine's radio show. So I did a takeover, and I had 6 guests, and it was like men against women. And that's how I decided at that point, like, cool, is this something I really want to do? And it was great. It was good energy. It was like adrenaline rush. It was just a good vibe. So from there, I started that. But during that transition, when I said I don't want anybody to be in control of my money, I launched the consulting firm. With the consulting firm, a lot of my clients were radio station owners. So it all kind of ran together. So me having a consulting firm where I'm doing business and marketing consulting and building strategic plans for these, other people to make sure their radio stations were successful. And I, just launched a radio show. So it kind of went hand in hand.
That's what's up. Sound like the way to go. I mean,
Miss E Carrice, let me back up for a little minute. That 20 dates and 30 nights. What did you learn from that experiment? Because
I learned that I probably zone in on my type. My type It varies. A lot of people know I love men and I love women, and I love them to be fine. Okay, like fine. Okay? So I love them to be fine. I love a badass chick who has a bad body and a pretty face and all of that stuff and femme and all of that. And I like my men to be buff and handsome and and can cook. Like. So what I learned with the experiment, I wasn't allowed to select the person. So I went on dates with people who chose me. And I thought to myself, like, I'm always choosing. Like, maybe this is part of the problem with my friends, is that they're trying to choose someone who they think in their head is ideally the person for them. And I think oftentimes that person may not be who you pictured in your head. And I think that that's part of what I learned, is that sometimes you need to let people choose you.
Yeah.
Did you find any long-term relationships from any of those people?
I did have like long dating relationships. So not like I take that back. I was in a relationship with one person who took me on those days. I did that series of 20 days and 30 days like 3 times. But other people, other women and men who were single also did that experiment. So they paid me to go over the experiment with them. And then they went on 20 days and 30 days. And the experiment in itself is extremely emotional, because you don't know who you're going on a date with. And you can't continue to go on a date with that person. Like, say you went on a date with date number 3 and you like, oh, I really like date number 3. But you can't go on date number 3, go on a date with date number 3 again until your dates are over. So you can engage with that person, you can text them, you can't have any intimacy with them. So it kind of forces you to communicate with them first before you even go on another date with them. So it could be a little risky.
Risky, yes, for sure. And and hot.
Wait, is that the word? Oh, that's the drink.
That's the word, baby. Because I like your t-shirt.
Nice.
Wow. And the thing about it is with Hot 702.5 FM is that it's successful. You had what? Are you at the 2 million mark yet with the listenership?
Oh, we are about to be. We're at like 1.8 million, almost 1.9 million. So yeah, it's been so rewarding. Like this, I'm telling you, I didn't expect for it to blow like this. I didn't expect for it to have the vibes and the energy, and everybody that's part of the station. I'm telling you, all of them have good vibes. All of them handsome and beautiful people. It's just like energetically, like we all can vibe, and that's like the best feeling, going to the office and not having any feelings like, oh, I don't really want to see this person. Yeah. Like it's none of that. It's all love.
Has it slowed down since the pandemic, or is it less business? How is it? Safety measures and all of that. Are people coming into the studio?
Oh yeah, so we're in the studio. I've always been OCD before this pandemic, so a lot of the things we already did. So after every show, we always sanitize the entire station, microphones, anything you touch. We've already been doing that stuff. So we did add a couple of extra things, including like a mouth rinse, wearing your mask and some other sanitation, chemicals and things like that. And then too, there's a limit amount of people that can be in the station. And then if you're traveling or if you're being in large crowds, you cannot come to the station. You have to quarantine. That's what's up. And then for those people who have to be in large crowds and things like that, then they have to submit a COVID test to our legal team. So, so we try to make sure that we try to keep everybody safe. I personally take my COVID test. I've taken 5 so far, just to make sure that, I'm around people. I want to make sure that I'm safe, that I feel comfortable with being around people. And then too, I don't go out to large crowds. Y'all can have that. I'm good.
Listen, I have my own party in the house with my blouse on and my hair.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Listen, I'm not playing.
Yeah, I'm good. Y'all can have all of that partying out here with the COVID and the row all y'all want to. I'm good.
That's what's up. Listen, I just want to, I don't know, first call, you have another question?
Yeah, I do. I just want to, E Carrice, kind of describe the grind from 0 listeners to 1.8, 1.9. What is that like?
Ooh, child. So,
because that's the grind.
One thing that I was lucky to have in my back pocket, thanks to previous careers that I had, that had to do with marketing are tools in order to drive traffic to our websites, drive traffic to our, did I say hot? Somebody said that?
No, but I try to remind people. Yeah, you did just say it. That's right. That's right. Good looking at.
To drive, traffic to views, the videos, the any of the Facebook, Instagram pages. So I knew those tools that's on the back end to get people to come and listen. But the problem is that you have to have good content in order for people to come back and listen. So, it was also important for me to, we check in, we make sure that, if there's some content, something you could do better with your content, we check in and make sure everybody has the option to, do better. So we have free game classes, we have training on a monthly basis that allows people to learn more. They learn how to manage their Instagram properly. They learn how to format their shows properly. They learn about how to get guests. Just today we had this evening. I don't know if you guys know who Jaguar Wright is, but Jaguar Wright was in the studio.
Oh today. Yeah! Woo! She keeping the pot stirred. I tell you that for sure.
Yeah, she.
Okay, so I gotta catch that. Where do we catch that? Because I need to see what she's talking about.
You can go back and listen to any of our Hot 702.5 shows.
Okay. Yeah, so tell us, where can we go? Where do we go to listen, stream?
Hot 702.5.
All platforms. Hot 702.5. That's what's up. Again, sis, I want to celebrate you because I love what you're doing. I know it's a lot of work and I know it's a lot of sleepless nights and it ain't always pretty. And, I want to give you your flowers while you're here because we all know that tomorrow's not promised. So I love you. I know you sticking around because I know that you want to be a part of this conversation.
Got time today.
So I'm you got time today? Okay, so don't you worry, sis. I'm going to pull you in, but I definitely want to get these guys in because they definitely are one of the topics of discussion with what they came up with because for me, just seeing this photo on the social media, I follow Rell the Truth on Instagram, and I just saw a picture. I think it was a couple of months ago. All the times and dates run together for me, so forgive me for that. But I saw it, and I saw two men and a lady in between, and they was looking sexy and happy, and I was like, what? Because I need to tell y'all, before then, I would just see him posting, other pictures, and sometimes he would have pictures with his baby girl. And I just made up my story about his life. So when I saw that, I said, oh, okay, so this life is spicy. And so I was just intrigued to just learn more about what he had going on with his life. You guys know we've done a couple of shows on polyamorous life. So this is not anything, it's not a new subject for In Your Ear Radio. We talked to a woman who was open to her husband seeing other men seeing other women. A heterosexual woman was open to her husband seeing other women and her being able to see other men. And, that worked out for her up until she met this new guy who came on the show and he was like, yeah, Polly's dead. And so she's happy. And then
he just said it's over.
And then we had a guy come on, and he was open to his wife seeing other men, a heterosexual couple, and she was open to him seeing other women, and they even came together. So that was interesting. But this aspect of it, even I watched Sister Wives and Seeking Sister Wives, and there's never a same-sex couple seeking not just another same sex, but here's the twist, a woman. So I just like, okay, I need to know more. I need to talk to you and get inside your head and just understand, first of all, how you live the poly life and, and all of that. So I just, want to bring these guys on and let them share their story and tell their truth and, just share their thoughts. So welcome to In Your Ear Radio After Dark, Rell. And forgive me if I said wrong, but I said Keyopp. Am I right?
That's correct. Correct.
Okay. I read your name, but I've never heard it. But I looked at, remember how it's pronounced from English, studies. And I thought it was Keyopp. But, Black parents, we would switch some stuff up and you'd be called Sam. Your name is spelled Keyoppp. I'm just saying. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you.
How are you doing tonight?
And more so because I know two men talking about homosexuality or even bisexuality, Black men on top of that, is not a very popular subject. You know, to me, it's courageous to be able to live in your truth and be who you are and be comfortable and confident in sharing, you know, and telling other people, because we need to learn, right? For those of us who have no understanding or have judgments or whatever they have, you guys speak for yourself. So thank you again for joining us. And you know, we're gonna dig into it. But I just want people to know, just before we even get started, that you guys, you know, this isn't just about your, you know, your sexuality, because, you know, you are two men who are, for example, listen, I got my I'm sorry, I got a little teleprompter here, and I'm trying to be cute, and I wear my glasses. So that's how it's working out for me. But I just want to say, first of all, Rell, you know, more to you. You're a Vegas native. You know, poetry is your passion, right? You came out with the Truth Spot for spoken word.
That's correct.
You know, I always used to see your posts, and what I really like about you is that you even provided that platform for kids to be able to speak the spoken word. So I really like that. And you know, you're about Black excellence. I love that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just, you know, I appreciate what you're doing, but also you're a professional when it comes to finances. So I know you can, you know, talk to people and educate them on investing and life insurance and things like that. And you care about people. I love your slogan. You care about people and you value the truth. That goes a long way for you to even say that. So just know that, you know, I respect that. And for Keyopp, you know, you doing your thing too. You're a life coach, a motivational speaker. Mm-hmm. Okay, now here it comes. You're a minister. Mm-hmm. So I definitely want to talk to you about that. And the reason being is because, you know, it's a lot of controversy behind that title, especially when we're talking about sexuality, right?
Absolutely.
But I just want to big you up for being present, and just I want people to know that there's more to your story than just what you do behind closed doors and ain't nobody's business. But we're gonna talk about it today, because that's what we do on In Your Ear Radio After Dark. We talk about some shit that matter.
Some shit that don't.
Straight up.
So how you doing, Keyopp? How are you feeling tonight? How y'all COVIDing over there?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me. Doing very well.
All right. So let me just start off first. How did you guys meet? You've been a couple for a minute?
Well, I mean, we started off as friends. So I became open to this poly world because of my last relationship. Her and I thought it would be a good idea to bring a guy in, just because I was over, you know, being the sole person to provide for, you know, the needs and expectations and, you know, very high sex drive and all that. So I was like, you know, I didn't want to change about anything about who I am. And she knew I was bisexual. So I was just open to, you know, that making things work in our relationship. But it didn't work out between her and I. And I met him just as her and I were ending things. And he was just open to poly as well. He wanted to, you know, have kids and family. So it was a great fit. We hit it off as friends, you know, cool vibes, quarantine, smoke vibes. We had a lot of time to get to know each other. So it's only been about like 10 months that we've known each other. But it does feel like a very long time because of COVID.
Okay. You know, I know you guys have a bunch of questions. So I'm not going to be greedy, but that was one of my questions I was going to ask. When you get into relationships with a woman, do you let her know that you're bisexual, and vice versa? When you're with a man, do they know that you also are bisexual?
I did. I felt like it was important for me to tell like my child's mother before it got serious, just because I know the stigma around it and the stereotype, although I don't care, you know, so much about it. I wanted to let her know before it got too serious, so that she knows everything about me and she can make that decision for herself, if she still wanted to rock with me. So I find it, you know, easier going just to be honest. You know, with women, they, you know, they'll let you know, and they'll still rock with you if they want to. You know, I like giving them choice.
That's what's up.
I respect that. You said your child's mother, you let her know before you guys had the child?
Absolutely. Before we got serious. Awesome. You know, the feelings may have been strong by that point. Like we liked each other a lot, but we weren't living together. We weren't, you know, talking about having a kid yet, or married or engaged. You know, so I felt like it was good time before it got even more serious, to let her know that. And she decided to continue.
That's what's up.
Okay.
You're real. As a black man, as a father, how do you cope with the stereotypes or just the negative stigma in our communities?
So for me, I have I've pretty much built my life and brand around the truth. My stage name is Rell the Truth. I'm a poet. I always speak about my life and things that I go through, anything going on around me, how I feel about it, the truth about how I feel about it. My open mic is called Spit Your Truth Open Mic Night. I encourage everyone else to share their truth and whatever that truth may be, you never know who it may help and inspire. So that's just been my mantra, to just live by my truth, regardless of what anyone else may feel, because there's a lot of people who it will help and inspire. I don't really, I'm not going to allow society or anybody to tell me that's a man or not a man, or I'm a father and I take care of my responsibilities and all that. So I don't know. I feel like there's nothing that you can tell me. Like I'm living my life how I want to, and in public, I'm no secrets. That's just the way I'd rather live, and I encourage others to live that way.
So I know we got E Carrice, Hot 702.5 FM over there, and I know she has some questions as well. You want to jump on in on the conversation?
What's up, Rell? How's it going?
How you doing?
Good. Listen, so when I read this, and I'm gonna read it real quick, I felt like little butterflies.
Really?
Somebody tell her if she didn't want a child to be inspired by a free butterfly nigga, she shouldn't have decided to have a baby with a beautiful bisexual nigga. I mean a free thinker, because I've been free as a motherfucker, butterfly nigga. So listen, when I read that whole poem, I was like, okay, Rell, I see what you're doing here. And I was so glad to see that free part of you. And I my gaydar is turned all the way up. It's just naturally up. I am polyamorous. I have always been. I've always believed in loving more than one person. I've also loved men and I love women. So I appreciated you sharing that part of you with the world in the way that you did. And I think that all of us have a time in our lives where there's people who we are with that don't believe you. They don't believe that you can love two people. They don't believe that you can love men and women at the same time. And I think a lot of your poem covered all of that and experiences that you may have experienced or not. It could have been fiction. I don't know. Yeah. but so I'm here for the truth, and I'm always here to, be free and open and things like that. My question is, so how are you, tolerating, or, how are you combating anything that may come from that other partner with dealing with you being so open and true? Do they feel embarrassed? Are you helping them walk through the process of what they feel because you are free? What's that look like?
So are you referring to like how does my ex feel about that poem, or like how does anybody I write about feel about the thing?
Not necessarily the poem, because I mean I do poetry. I'm an entertainer. I talk for a living, so I talk about my relationships with people live and free. And I have to have them. I expect for them to understand that I am me. I am free, and I tell the truth. But what I'm saying is that so you being so free, a lot of times other people cannot handle, that, part of you being free, because
your family, your friends, your mom,
you're
your
not,
dad.
and that's because they're not so free.
Right.
So how do you handle that specifically with your child's mother? And, how do you handle navigating those conversations and making them feel warm about it?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I kind of already know how Well, first of all, I feel like people should know me. Like I've been the same way since I was 6th grade, middle school. I wrote poems about all my relationships. People that got involved with me, you know, they were able to see that I spoke about a previous relationship and my real life. So I feel like, you know, I'm a poet. I pull out my cards out, you know, put them on the table when I first meet you. I let you know, that is what fuels my craft is, the truth that happens in my life. And I feel like they just have the decision to either want to be in any type of relations with me, but also they can stop themselves from not seeing it as well. Don't be friends with me on social media. Don't, where I share where my poems or anything, don't pay attention to it or mute me. Like that's what I do. If I don't want to see things that may trigger something in me, I just stop myself from being able to see it. And
so do you take the time? Because I know that everyone is not as free as I am. I understand that, and I'm sorry, Toya, if I'm stepping over, but I got questions. Okay. But I know that everyone is not as free as I am. I know everyone's sexuality isn't as open as mine is. I know everyone about their love style, their anything with their life. It may not be as free as me. So what I have learned is that I have to kind of help navigate them through the process of setting themselves free and not being selfish enough to understand that, maybe because the way that they were raised, they weren't able to be free like that. Tell
me like they like when they get involved with me that they admire how much that I am free or, how I do speak the truth. And I hold on to that admiration and, try to encourage them to do the same thing. I let them know I'm not going to change. And, if you want to be this way, then you should. I don't know, just try to encourage them to, I just lead by example. That's all I can do. I don't want to, force anybody to do anything that they don't want to do or be involved with anything, but I don't want to restrict myself either.
What about you, Keyopp? Have you had the same freedoms or did you have to just come into your truth at some point? Did you have a struggle at all? Just being open about who you are?
Absolutely. I think coming out of a strict church background, and then battling and coming to terms with my sexuality and how I wanted to live through the world, I definitely had to come to some truth and get clarity on things and live my life for me instead of for other people or what other people thought. I had out a mirror and figure out who I was, what I was, and how I wanted to be, throughout the world. So I definitely had that process too. Absolutely.
Ms. Trish, you got something sitting on the tip of your tongue?
Well, I want to know, have you guys both been sexually active with men and women? Or
absolutely.
Yeah, both have. Okay. So what if, are you open to 3 kings or you're definitely looking for a queen?
Definitely looking for a queen. Definitely looking for a queen.
And what if, because I know you guys are pro-Black, I looked at a couple of your YouTube videos. What if she's white? Are you open to that or no?
Not really. No.
I'm asking for a friend.
I'm not really. No, I'm not really.
I think Puerto Rican was the furthest I'd go. And even then, I'm trying to, love on my Black queens. That's what this whole thing, really is centered around. Polyandry is uplifting and, building her up. And that's what we want to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Never been really attracted to white people.
Gotcha.
To each his own, right? All right, first caller. I see you over there. I said I was going to share. But
you might be on mute.
Okay, my bad. No, you on mute. You muted yourself. Okay, so we having some technical difficulties. I know first caller definitely had a question. So you said you were open to just a woman. Why not the man? Did I miss that part? Why not 3 kings?
Because they want kids, right? You want
kids. Okay, I'm sorry.
We want a family. Absolutely.
And we still love and, very much attracted and love entertaining and, being in the presence of a woman. There's no substitute for that. We don't have vaginas.
Okay.
Or titties.
All right.
What if your queen wants to bring another queen? So y'all open to 2 kings and 2 queens?
I think we'd be open to it.
Yeah.
It's deep, don't it? Like, how does that work?
Huh?
How does that work? Like, what if she want to bring in another man or another woman?
Well, I think if she's bisexual, it might be cool for us to have a fourth, a woman. But we're not looking to be an open situation. We want it to be a closed dynamic. So if she's straight, then she's only messing with us two. She doesn't have the option to go with other guys. And if she's bi, I would be open to her if she wanted to just play with girls from time to time. I don't know. Yeah. But if she wants to bring somebody in a relationship, that's something to consider as well.
So there was another question. Shout out to Facebook. They wanted to know that you guys go to church together. I think that was Shanta on Facebook. You were talking about being a part of the church.
So it's pretty much we haven't got a chance to really live life post COVID, right? Yeah. When we got together, everything was already shut down. We attended church online. But we have what we feel is our own ministry. People that follow the Spitzer Truth and the True Spot, but also he's a life coach in the Lighthouse. He used to be a pastor. So, we want our own, church, but not church is what we plan to build here in Las Vegas. It's going to be called the Lighthouse, spinoff of the True Spot.
And then there's another question. How do your kids feel about it? Do they understand the dynamics of your relationship?
So my kids are young. My daughter is about to be 5 and my son is about to be 3. But I've definitely had the conversations with their mothers, and obviously they were concerned, wanted to know what exactly will their kids, our kids be seeing. And I'm very protective of the impression that I leave on my children. I want to always be true with them. I want them to, know daddy ain't living no lie or nothing. They're gonna know. But I've never been a PDA type of guy. I like affection, but not really all like that, all over each other in front of people. So that's not really anything. More so they're seeing just a, friend vibe, brotherhood between us. And we're still in the search for our queen. So they have seen us, go bowling with another woman and her kid, like a play date type thing, or, we've had I don't like to just bring women around so they don't just meet everyone, but they're just gonna know the truth, that daddy bisexual and they got this polyamorous relationship. They're gonna know that and know how to, defend any naysayer, anybody that got something to say growing up as well.
Yeah. You guys get any pushback from men? Y'all get the dirty looks or?
The comments we get, the comments. We've taken several pictures and have been, in certain rooms or whatever. We get the comments, but I'm a pretty strong spiritual cat, so I know going in that people have opinions, high and low, 4 and A, and I don't really get invested into all of that. But yeah, we get the comments that we're weak or this, that, and the other. But like I said, I don't really invest too much in it. But we see it,
Right. And I like to if definitely somebody, is feeling bold or want to say something disrespectful or anything, I don't have no problem, writing back and let them know how I feel as well. But they live their life. They can't tell me one sin in the Bible is, greater than the other. And for the most part, though, it's been a lot of love. We've been, enlightened to the fact that there's a lot of women that are open to this dynamic. Absolutely. There's a lot of men that are like, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. In the poly groups on Facebook, those are really like home. I don't just post everything on my public wall and stuff because I do know, what the comments can go left.
Have you guys lost any business at all? Like, I know one of you guys is a life coach, one of you got a salesperson. Has anybody said, "Oh, I can't do business with you because of your personal experiences or beliefs or whatever"?
Not as it relates to being poly. I haven't had any negative as it relates to being poly. I've had more people trip on me because I read tarot cards or whatever. But the poly situation, no, I haven't really had it.
So that's interesting. A minister that reads tarot cards that happens to be bisexual and polyamorous. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm confused like a motherfucker.
I'm not. You know what? But I always wonder this, and I had an interview with a gentleman. His name is Will. He has a church here. He's a pastor. I quoted him as the gay pastor, and I asked him. So Ephesians 3:5 says, a man should not be with a man as if with a woman, right? So why are you so vested in the Bible and the truth of being a Christian if you're gay? I don't get it. So I asked him that question. So I got that question for you.
Well, I thought she was gonna tell us his answer. I was like, what is he?
I'll post a link so you can go to the video and watch it.
For me personally, I've done a 360. I had to resolve my spirituality, my sexuality, and all of that. So I had to do a 360 as it related to what I felt about my own divinity, my own spiritual walk, my own godliness. I grew up in this situation in church, fear, where I felt like you had to whatever. But I couldn't shake, being bisexual. I couldn't shake that, and I still, nobody could, love church or love God more than me coming up. You know what I mean? So I knew then that I had to resolve that there was nothing wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? That my divinity was just as, was mine as much as my lungs and my anatomy was. So once I made that resolve, once I had that peace, I don't really subscribe to all of the Bible and what it teaches.
So you only believe part of the Bible. Actually, his answer was very similar to yours, and he said, and he also said, I don't really subscribe to everything in the Bible. And then I said, wait, and then I said, so you only believe part of the Bible? How does that work?
Yeah, I don't, because as a spiritual teacher, I quote all of the scriptures. I use all the spiritual books, but I don't.
So how do you explain to me Ephesians 3:5? And I just want you to know I'm hella gay. Okay, so yeah, I just got these questions because they're questions.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't even get into that conversation or that debate. I pick
it's in the Bible though.
Yeah, but I don't use the Bible for all of my points. I don't
only
for half of it, but you
I believe for the most part the whole Bible is an interpretation.
Absolutely,
of man, whoever wrote the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all the facts either, but all I know is that we all are human. We all have the same feelings, and we all have the same. We
all don't have the same feelings, though.
A lot of men and a lot of women do feel the same. It's not just
still feel the same about what?
Same sex orientation.
I mean, so I personally believe that 70% of men are attracted to other men, but that's just my It's risky. It's hot and risky.
Come up with these statistics?
because I have gay male friends who date straight men.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Okay, so yes, and then I know a lot of straight women who in my phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's call a thing a thing.
Supposedly heterosexual women are in your phone.
We're not gonna call them supposed. I think that it's fair for anyone to have an open feeling about someone, whether it's just that they are curious about something or whether they just like, oh, she's, I think that also too, there are a lot of straight women who are attracted to me and my being, not necessarily that I'm, a fine ass female. So I think that there's a lot of, I think when you connect with someone, and there's a lot of people who have that connection energetically without even wondering about their gender. But real quick, back to the Bible situation. So essentially you're teaching more about spirituality, because for me, I've always been confused about why, like for me, the Bible is it's some good lessons. It's some good stories in that thing. Do I personally believe that they were written as they, appear to us? Were they translated?
Facebook comments count too.
Were they translated, properly after being rewritten 40,000 times? I used to be a diehard Christian. Okay, I'm talking about for real. And obviously my thoughts are different now. But I always wondered why people who were, who it blatantly says in the Bible that you shouldn't be doing this. Like, why are you still part of this? Like, why are you still bigging ups to the Bible? Like, those are my concerns. Those are just my thoughts. My thoughts are risky.
These are like usually the same people
risky.
Same people that usually ask, are they're the ones that's having sex before marriage and doing other things. So it's like, what about all those things? Why?
Exactly. You out here fornicating? Like, you going to hell too, I guess. What I mean? So,
I don't really entertain the conversation.
I don't think if you fornicate, you just automatically going to hell.
What you going to hell for then?
I don't think so either.
I think if you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, you good. Like, you might need to repent for a lot of shit, but
that's not what the Bible says.
It does.
Listen, I'm gonna need you to go back and read the Bible, because all of those things that are wrong,
I
continue to do.
It also says that Jesus died for our sins, so it don't matter what we do. He didn't already. We off top.
What must I do to be saved? There's an answer to that.
Good then. So we all going to heaven then, right? Heaven.
Right. No, listen. Everybody don't believe in Jesus.
Hey, you better say it.
So hell no, everybody ain't going to heaven. I'm just saying.
No. We poly and bi and read tarot, we spiritual, but we believe in Jesus, and we going to heaven, right? You good?
Listen, I ain't God.
You better ask Jesus.
I'm not God, but what I do know is that in the Bible,
your interpretation from
someone asked Jesus, "What must I do to be saved?" And the answer is there. I have to look up and see what verse it is.
Did he already die for your sins?
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to keep on doing them.
We got some technicalities in there. Flag on the field. This conversation is focusing on the New Testament. Which one y'all talking about?
Old Testament. We don't have people sacrificing the animals to be burning up.
I'm sorry. Do we need to focus on that testament that they just made up and added to it? Add to the Bible? Okay, Shanta.
Wrong. We were divine. We were spiritual. We already had a divine connection. Before any book was penned, before any law was written, we already were divine connected. We already were who we are as our divine selves, and that's what I teach people.
These feelings and all that.
There you go.
You ain't got to jump up and down. You got you can't believe that you came here and sin. I don't believe it. I believe I'm a divine being. I'm a spiritual being having this human experience. That's what I believe.
Agreed.
So, before we pick up any book, when there was any book to teach us, we had a teacher, we had a connection, and that's what I believe.
Absolutely. We on the same page, but I'm still on the Jesus part.
The Holy Bible is not the
obviously, Shanta. Obviously.
I lost y'all for a minute, so I don't know if this has been talked about already, but considering y'all personal life, have y'all lost any business relationships, considering y'all is doing so much dope shit within the community and all that?
True, no. I mean, I don't know if it's because there's not too much business going on, but I mean, the people that are interested in doing life insurance and financial services business with me, they don't care about my sexuality or anything like that. If anything,
they better not. You better call a lawyer.
My coaching has expanded. I think when people see that you live in your truth, when people see that you are clear about who you are and how you want to move about in the world, people admire people who live, with courage. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm pretty sure there is some people that scoff at us, but personally, I haven't experienced it. No.
Shanta has another question on watching on Facebook. I appreciate all of you guys in the chat on YouTube and Facebook Live. Thank you for putting your questions in. I'm getting some text too. I just can't keep up. I'm sorry. It's just me over here trying to run everything. So I'm trying to get as many questions out as possible. But yeah, she wants to know if you guys are practicing safe sex.
Absolutely.
And COVID testing.
Absolutely. All that. I think, it's nobody should be scared to ask a question or to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Or get all those tests before getting involved. We want to.
Absolutely.
Listen,
what if you guys find a queen, right? And like everything is going good, right? So it's two kings and a queen, y'all chilling. Shit is great. And then like some shit go down, and then one of the kings and one of the queens like fuck his ass. He full of shit. Like, is the king and the queen gonna be together? Y'all gonna find another king? Like, I'm confused.
That's funny.
I just want to know.
It's funny you said that because our first experience, it was it was a long distance relationship at first, and then when she got here, it definitely seemed like she was emotionally catfishing, and she only really wanted one of us. She wanted us to separate. That part.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know really what it was, but I don't know. It wasn't that deep with her yet for us to even be considering it. So it's like we're already established here. We're coming to you as a package deal.
Okay. So you guys are like the foundation of the relationship, and then whatever happens after that is what happens.
Now, but she comes in day one with all benefits. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that we're here. It's like, she comes in winning day one. It's not like we don't want nobody to think that we're so tight or so whatever that we don't have room to love or bring somebody in. We want, her to be, the third wheel and feel as like she was here day one. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're friends, we're brothers, we're whatever, and so it is like somewhat of a package. We don't want to, we went into this. We got together knowing that we were going to do this. We went into this saying, "Hey, let's bring it." You know what I'm saying? So, we don't want to split.
What I found in this poly dating scene is like a lot of women, they're looking for the guys individually, like either one by one, or they're trying to convince a guy that to mesh well with this guy, etc. It's like we already did that part of the work for them, so it's like most women, you're not having any pushback. Like I feel like women are like, all right, that's.
I would never want to be with two men. I'm just saying that's a lot of work for a woman. You guys are really needy. Men are needy.
Women.
Really? Men are very needy, and you guys are like, really?
Yeah,
I'm good.
Probably is because they're around. Women have a lot of needs. In my last relationship, anyway, all I can refer to as that is because I work a lot. I have my own business and I work. So I like to work, 10, 12 hours a day. Sometimes I'm at home. I'm still like answering, whoop, and, she may have a high sex drive or she may want affection like this. She want to spend time on this. So why not share those responsibilities? I don't feel like she has to work harder, just because she has two of us. If anything, we're going to be putting her at ease more,
So she benefit from having two of y'all.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So what I learned with polyamory, I've dated a couple before, a man and a woman, and they're both extremely attractive.
That's pretty hot.
They both had their own, they were married. They both had their own, individual personalities or whatever. But I learned that it was very difficult to try to get to know one of them, who was the wife, because the personality of the husband was so big. I couldn't really connect with her, although I was more physically attracted to her. But they were both fine. But it was very hard to connect to both of them because their personalities were polar opposite, because that's normally how relationships are. You're normally in a relationship with somebody who has a big personality, and there's one person who's just like, I'm chill. And, so it's kind of hard to, kind of connect with both people equally. That's just from my personal experience with polyamory. However, I have been in a relationship and then, dated other people, and I was able to connect with both of them. In my personal relationship, adding a third. So, that's been that's been good too. So it's interesting.
Definitely depends on the individual. Like you said, everybody's different, and what we've even learned so far in dating, the different people that we've dated is just like finding the one that we all vibe. We all can vibe. We can all vibe together, and we can vibe individually. And we would have that obstacle, dating one-on-one anyway. Finding one person to vibe, but you just making it a little bit more fun by having the three of us.
So are you open to going on dates separately with that person?
Yeah. We'll have sex.
So that was the challenge. That was one of the challenges with me dating this couple, is that they wanted to only date together. So getting to know them individually because of the big personality from the husband, it was very difficult to do that. And my suggestion was, hey, maybe we could go on dates separately so that I could connect with both of you.
Yeah, I think that would be needed. Yeah, just so that
Agreed.
You get that attention.
Now, in a trouble, right? Now, if y'all get into it, how does that look? So, like, if you mad at him, do you go to her like, "Oh, this nigga tripping, I can't," and she like, "No, calm down," or do you? And if you are her tripping, do you go to him and be like, "Oh man, this bitch, she tripping"? How does that work when y'all beefing?
We hope that we can have somebody that can just balance us all out. She can help us when we have friction and all the way around. We definitely want that balance though, and somebody that can that is cool with refereeing. Yeah.
Awesome. Listen,
how are you guys looking for her? Are you looking online? Are y'all getting referrals?
Yeah.
Referrals.
There's like polyandry. I like the polyandry specific poly groups because it's specific to the women looking for her multiple guys. But there's several poly groups on Facebook. A lot of people looking for a specific dynamic. So that's been very helpful. There hasn't been too much going on, obviously, here in Las Vegas, so we can't really get out like that.
Right.
There's been one little swinger sex party for Halloween that we didn't go to swing or anything, but we were a part of throwing.
Where my pearls at?
Breaking all the CDC guidelines, huh?
Oh my. Sex party?
Social distance. I definitely did.
Yeah, we were just helping, put that together. So it hasn't been too many meetups and events that we've been able to meet people just yet. So we just been, chilling, wanting to take our time, especially after the first couple failed attempts. Just want to take our time, focus on our business, and we have our, everything right within us before we do bring someone in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're talking to, multiple, but yeah, we met them all online.
And do you have a different, specific type? Can you afford an extra person? Are you expecting this person to bring in money?
Now, with as far as affording, it's going to be a little easier because we splitting these dates.
Oh, she got to be fertile.
They're splitting these dates.
Yeah, what if she don't want kids?
That's a requirement. That's why they're seeking a queen.
What's the kids part? Right.
And then she got to have a kid by each one. What if she have? What if she happen to get pregnant by the same one twice?
We're gonna be careful. We're gonna be very careful.
Wow, that's gonna be tricky.
Can both of y'all make kids? I mean, I'm just saying. What if one of y'all can't have kids? Y'all check that out.
I got 2 already, and my youngest is 2, so I feel like I'm.
We know you fertile.
Right.
Now, I don't know if y'all talked about this before I got cut off, but now, Rell, now, when you go see your kids and you got your mans with you, how do you explain this to your kids, or what that conversation entails?
Right. So my kids are young; they're 2 and 4.
Okay. Okay.
My kids every week, half of the week, so they know Keyopp like he's an uncle at this point. Like, really figure. He's here. We live together, and my kids spend half the time here. So they're growing up, they're just gonna know what it is, the truth. I'm not a affectionate PDA type person like that. Like I like affection, but I'm not I'm not about to be doing things in front of my kids. It's just about to be a bond that they're witnessing. And they're gonna be educated on everything poly growing up.
Does that PDA thing not count forever? Or what if your partners are you know, they like PDA. Does that mean you'll shelter your kids from that forever?
Well, with guys, I mean, I don't know. This is different with a guy, if that's what you're asking specifically. But with a girl, I mean, I know she, you know, there may be little things that they may see, yeah. But it's like I'm not about to be tonguing nobody down. I feel like it's a little weird.
I mean, my boyfriend. Yeah, like my boyfriend now, like it's like he, you know, he loves to touch. I'm a toucher too. I like that affection. And then obviously women are affectionate, you know, most times.
Yeah, I think that when the woman is here, she may see us all being touchy-feely. I mean, they may see us as, you know, little moments like that. But like I said, it's not something I'm trying to, you know, as far as a guy on guy and it being abnormal, I'm not trying to persuade them to live a certain life, be that impressionable. I want them to make their own decisions. So I know how to, I feel like, do things in private. But with the woman, you know, if she wants to be all over us and we all in family vibes, then that's a different story. We're not going to stop her.
That's what's up.
Now, Keyopp, my bad, Maswaya.
No, first of all, I was pulling you in.
Oh, okay. Now, with you being a minister, have y'all been to church together, or what does the congregation or the ministry? I mean, what do they say or think? Or
you missed a whole lot, first caller.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Yeah, they're not having, we're not having church here right now in Vegas. Like pretty much things are closed when we first got together. You know, I'm a minister, but I have not ministered inside of the four walls of a church in 10, 15 years. You know, I just, you know, my ministry is more, you know, with the people that I come to in life. So I haven't done any in-church ministry in a few years.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that. We're building our own.
But we are starting a spiritual center here. For that.
But do y'all go to church together?
Well, church isn't open right now. You know, but
I just seen a sign. I just seen a sign yesterday saying they're holding church outside. That's why I was asking.
Oh no.
I've been churching online.
Okay.
I've been churching online. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you know, we mentioned in the beginning, we were talking about the truth spot in poetry, and of course, E Carrice touched on that hot. That was a hot poem. I mean, listen.
Yeah, he got busy. Ain't
nobody deny. I don't care how they feel.
Yeah, you got busy with that.
But shout out to Rachel, who's on YouTube. She said, "What's next for the truth spot? The poetry spot."
The truth spot. So the truth spot was a space where I hosted my open mic, Spit Your Truth open mic night. We also had we also had workshops, writing workshops, and the Truth Collective Poetry Slam. I started a youth poetry slam called the Youth Truth Collective. So we did a lot of poetry, art-related stuff with the kids. I want to continue doing that. I've since changed the name to the Lighthouse. Me and Keyopp have partnered up to continue providing those artist services and writing workshops and stuff for my peers as well as the kids. But we also want to get into providing not only more services for artists, but life coaching, artist development opportunities for them as well. So we're going to be having weekly open mics, but also weekly church, but not church, life empowerment sessions. Yeah. And just providing all those artists and life services to people is what we're passionate about, and we hope to do so in the first quarter of 2021. All goes to plan. So that's what's next. But open mics, I do cash prize open mics for poetry, hip hop artists. Definitely looking forward to picking that back up.
Listen, it's been a pleasure just to hear you two young men. I'm gonna call y'all young. I think y'all younger than me. Hearing your perspective and getting an understanding of who you are as men. I know we, did a clickbait with the sexuality conversation. I think we learned a whole lot more about your character and who you are as men, and that's a beautiful thing. And how you coming into relationship. It's not just a freak thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we all grown, right? We could have that conversation, but people have their ideas about people who choose to live an alternative lifestyle, for lack of a better word. And you show that you live a normal life. You just have different interests in some people, and it's okay with that because you hold your own down. So I appreciate you. I know there's still a lot of questions. I explained we do have a jam-packed show, and I definitely want to get Queen G in, because I know she has, some other things going on as well. So I definitely want to get her commentary in on the 2020. You guys are welcome to hang around. If you guys still have questions, I could pull you back in, but I definitely want to get to her. Shout out to why? I'm trying to read here. Okay, hold on. Get this last question in. Are you open to women and children? Yeah. Y'all clicking in and out, because I think we had this conversation. But where can everybody follow you guys?
It said women with children.
With the children.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
So not their children.
We're definitely open to that. We're not closed off to children. Now, I don't know about like 4, 5, 6 children. That's a lot. Or even 3.
That's not 18.
Talk about the statistics, but they could check out our YouTube, 2 Kings, 1 Queen, with the Z on the Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Queen, and we talk a lot about our poly journey. We just answered a lot of these similar questions on our last episode, so you can comment there, ask us questions on there, our IG.
Well, when y'all find y'all queen, I want y'all back on the show. I mean, it ain't, listen, that's up to Miss Boyer, but I just want to know. I got more questions.
What's on your
mind?
mind?
Y'all secure the lady.
I'm with you.
We've had experiences. What questions you got?
For her though. The questions are for her.
We want to know how she adapted and is it working out for her? Okay. See, I watch Sister Wives and Seeking Sister Wives, so I be in people's business. So we just want to follow up and treat y'all like reality TV in a little bit.
When you see that post on IG that we with somebody, definitely hit us up for an interview. We'll be glad to be back.
I'll be checking for you. But again, brothers, I do appreciate you guys for coming out and telling your story and being a part of the platform tonight. I'm sure a lot of people learned, and I can't read it, but what does it say? Read it to me.
Let homegirl with the glasses know I want to holler at her.
Wait a minute.
Talking about what's that?
Look at you. Who is it? Somebody said you're just too fine. I don't know. Okay, well. We might have a love connection tonight. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Hit that DM.
So you guys, that's hilarious.
Thank
you guys want to say anything else before we get out of here?
No, we appreciate the platform. Thanks for having us. We'll talk. Thanks for having us.
Y'all have a good night.
You have a good night too. So the show is not over, y'all. I just want to let you know. I appreciate y'all so much. Rell and Keyopp for joining us, 2 Kings and 1 Queen. And yes, we'll be following up. It won't be the last time we see y'all, but I definitely appreciate y'all for being here tonight. Much love to y'all. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Good night. And sis, as always, I appreciate you for being a part of the platform. And again, your inspiration is one of the reasons why I do what I do now. So thank you so much. And keep on doing what you're doing. Shout out to the award-winning Hot 702.5 FM and keep doing it, baby.
I had a question for Miss E Carrice.
Yes.
All right.
The man who gave you your name, did he at least get a date at Starbucks? Anything?
Did he? You know what? I remember the man coming in saying that all the time. I cannot figure his face.
Damn.
I don't even know who the dude is, but I think that he hit me up recently and said like, "Oh, I gave you the name Fine Ass, but I had no idea who the dude was."
You fine? Oh, damn!
It's all love. It's
all love.
Love.
That's cold.
Shout out to Shanta Gibson though. She's dope. I was actually with Shanta Jackson when she was doing a book tour, and I was Shanta's assistant.
Yeah.
And then Shanta Gibson came through, and and I asked her to come. And she did an interview with Shanta. She also did one with myself. So Shanta's dope. I appreciate her and her drive, for sure. She's a grinder, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it too. So I appreciate her lending us some of her time tonight. Well, I don't know, sis, you might have some questions too, but
I can stay around. I'm
okay.
I'm trying to sip this whole thing here.
What is that? That looks like some vegetable. Are you cheating? That looks like a green drink.
This is a kiwi refresher from Starbucks, and then I added
ain't no vodka in it,
and I added
Tito's.
All right. You still my sister. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna talk about this 2020 because we got stories for days. We definitely going in the Bible, the Third Testament, the New Testament, and the Medium Testament. I don't know, lukewarm Testament, whatever y'all want to call it. We going in that sucker because we didn't live the life. And I'm just interested to get her point of view on the 2020. She seems to think that we can wrap it up in a positive way and I definitely want to hear where she's coming from. So for those of you who don't know, she is the host of her own radio podcast, and I'll just let you know her name is Queen G, and here she is. Thank you for joining us.
Oh my God! Thank you guys for having me. This was an interesting subject tonight, man.
Wasn't it? I love it. I mean, we could have went on longer, but time is of the essence. We'll definitely have those brothers back because we're interested to see what happens next for them. Definitely.
Right.
But how are you doing? How you coping over there?
You got to remind me of when they get the girl, so I can chime in and check out the show.
Okay,
whoa.
For sure.
Whoa. Sure. But thank you guys so much for having me. E Carrice, thank you for that amazing shout out. Before I came on, you are amazing as well. I have always admired you as well. By the way, surprise, E Carrice, I will be featuring you in one of my up and coming magazines.
Hey, I love it. Thank you, Queen.
That's breaking news.
Yeah. So,
right.
Much love to you, Queen. You definitely reign, in the radio world, and I have so much respect for you, for real.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's what's up. And big up to you, Queen G, Shanta Gibson, because not only do you host your own podcast, but you're an author, you're a writer, and a blogger. I mean, I just learned that you're on your 12th children's book. Am I right?
No, not 12 children book. I actually wrote. Since November of last year, I wrote a total of 14 books, 12 of my own, and 2 collaborative projects with others. So it's been an intense year. I moved from Vegas, as you guys know, from last year, November. And I just decided, I said, you know what? I'm not going to come to Texas and just do nothing. Like, that's not even in my MO. And I might have went into overdrive a little bit, but I'm glad I did because, this was pre-COVID and all that. I was already working on a plan. I was already in quarantine, kind of in that mode of let me focus, let me get tunnel vision and stay on my grind. I went from Vegas literally to here and I didn't stop. I did not stop. And you got to really have a plan. You got to have a plan. Now, did I know it was going to be this many books? No. It kind of went, in a different direction. But my kids inspired me to co-write with them. And I said, why not become, a collaborator with my own children and actually help them to, figure out what this entrepreneurial thing is like, hands-on by way of co-authoring with them. So I'm a co-author with my kids. Yeah. On some of those books. I wrote 6 children's books this year, and their ideas are actually implemented into those books. So
you got to come back and do another show just with the kids and you, because I got to get into your brains and just, understand what I need a camera when the kids just say something. They say something crazy. You looking like you want to put that in the book, like. What are the stories like? Because I had one kid who was traveling from another state, and he came here for Christmas, and he was on a plane during Christmas season, and he told us he was good with stories. He told us he saw Santa Claus and his reindeer while he was on the plane, and I thought that should be in a book. Like, that was just the cutest story ever.
I want to talk to the parents out here because at first I thought my daughter was tripping. When she came to me and said, Mom, I have this idea and I want to write a book like you. I thought she was tripping at first. And then it was like, no, her tone took a serious direction. And I was like, okay, let me listen to my child and not, block her out because, kids have imagination and they have these far-fetched ideas. She was like, no, Mommy, I want to write a book about trading lives with my baby dolls.
What?
I was like, okay. I said, so this is what I told her. I said, come here, baby girl. Go ahead and talk your ideas into my phone and tell me what you're thinking and what's on your mind. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a book for you. And she literally wrote out the chapter ideas. This was about a little girl who literally swap lives with her baby dolls. And it became an adventure. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. It's such a dope story. I could not believe it. Like, I could not believe that her imagination opened up this vivid and really, really came up with these concepts and ideas. And I was like, you know what? Never again will I deny my kids' ideas. Yeah. Never again.
How old is she?
She's only 8 now, but she was 7 when she came up with that idea. And then the next, her twin, of course, didn't want to be left out. She was like, Mommy, I want to write my own book too. She got a twin. So it just started the ball in this whole entire household. And then my daughter, Heaven, she came up with a concept called My Unicorn Cake, about a little girl who enters a baking contest and ends up, her cake keeps getting eaten. And she's like, why the hell is my cake getting eaten? She's not saying that in the story, but she's like, why does my cake keep getting eaten? And she films the area and discovers that the unicorn is waking up in the middle of the night and eating the cake.
Oh,
the unicorn that's baked in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it probably was hot right out the oven, because some hot cake.
I'm just saying, and it became. It's just such amazing ideas. She's that daughter she's 9, and she came up with 2 stories, 2 concepts. So we wrote them out, we put them on. I co-wrote them with their names as author, along with mine, and put them on Amazon, and we are published.
That's what's up. Got some baby
along
authors.
With my, I have 6 books of my own. That I did this year. I started a series called C's to Success, D's to Success, E's to Success, all the letters that rhyme with keys. It's a series, and these particular instances talk about, like C's to Success, Christianity, how that is incorporated into my daily life, and what that means exactly to me. What C is for Christ or Christianity, and what term does that mean? So I kind of break those things down and those ideologies.
Will the polyamorous people go to heaven?
You know
what? Is that in one of the books?
It's in the Bible.
Is it in your book?
What? I feel honestly, my opinion about that, I have learned that Christianity for me has become different. In the sense of, I feel like I have a personal relationship with God, and I can go to God at any point of the day. And just if I was bi, gay, polyam, whatever, it's like it shouldn't matter. I should still have that privilege and that right to go to God at any point of the day, regardless of what's going on in my life. You know what I mean? So I think it's a personal relationship that you have with your higher power. And I think that we all should have the right, no matter what's going on with us. We're all raggedy. We all got raggedy ideas, and you know what I mean? Everybody messed up in some way or the other. So ain't nobody perfect. And if they try to act like they are, they lying. You know what I mean? So
now where do you get all this time to write these books? You wrote all these books. I can't even write an essay, and yet you're writing 6 or 12 books.
You know what? In the beginning of the year, before the kids were actually out of school, I would spend the day hours and just write and just get in that zone. If it's something that you're passionate about, it's not like a task.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It flows more naturally as if it's a part of your life. So and you know what? I wrote all my books in my phone too. So what I learned is that you have to get a tool that fits for your lifestyle. And that is how I was able to write at any point of the day. Even if I'm in the drive-thru with my husband and he at the bank and I'm on the passenger side, I can pull my phone out and type on my book and write my ideas down as they are coming and as they're flowing out. So I would tell everybody, just figure out what tool works for you that you can use to write with. And once you discover that and figure that out, it becomes like second nature, putting on your socks or shoes. And you know, I just kind of flowed into my writing life. And I've always been a writer. You know what? When I think back to elementary school years, I used to write essays, and you know what I mean? I was always the one acing all of my tests, all of my writing assignments. I was always good at literature. Did I think that I was going to become an author later on? No, I had no idea until I came here to Texas, and I was bored as hell because I was used to the entertainment life in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, I got to do something. I'm not going to come here and fail, period. Yeah. So, you know, from boredom and just like, you know what, let me do this. Let me get this out of me. I had already been working on, my first book is about my media entertainment life for the past 20 something years, starting from when I was in my early 20s and I interviewed Taraji Henson when she was a baby in the game. So I talk about that. And this first book that I wrote is about my complete media journey, interviewing Teddy Riley, being on the Oprah Winfrey Show, all the things that people may not know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, oh yeah. Interviewing Bushwick Bill at what were we, WBKE? Yeah. WBKE is, he came to WBKE when we were there at that time and gave me an exclusive interview. Him and what's that other rapper guy? I can't think of his name right now. He would kill me if but you know. No. It was he's out of the Bay Area. I can't think of his name. Brain just shut down. But yeah, it a lot of people don't know a lot of things about me. So I was like, you know what? Let me put my media experiences in a book. Let me put all that in one conglomerate. Don't you do not have the book? Did you get it?
I do. I have it. I have your book. You signed it too. See?
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember.
I also have Rell's book as well, just so y'all know.
That is so amazing. That is so cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's been interesting. And then my second book was about being homeless, my homeless experience in Las Vegas. I went right into that. December was really sad for me and depressing because I had to play all those instances back again and go over the emotional, you know, breakdown from what we experienced with homelessness. I had to replay it back in my mind, and it was just devastating. So all of December, it took me 30 days to finish that book. It's 60-something pages. It was very depressing, emotionally draining.
So when did that happen? When did the homelessness situation happen? And I got another question after that too.
2018. 2018. No. Wait a minute. 2016 to 2018. It was a 2-year span. I was hosting red carpets and homeless.
Damn.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I guess I better buy the
who
book.
my brother is, which is Tyrese Gibson. You know how this business is, E Carrice. Like, you can't tell all your business, and people are so judgmental. You know what I'm saying? And I knew it was going to be that question of, how if your brother is Tyrese, why are you homeless? Like
that was actually my second.
You know, I think that probably was go.
That was part of what my second question is. Obviously, you know, I'm connected with some you know, some of your other family members as well. You know, and
right.
I know you just interviewed your brother, and I'm sure there were plenty of questions that people had about that. But that is a question that people, you know, I have a lot of celebrities in my family, a lot of people who have a lot of money. It's in my family. And it's a lot of people who, you know, like they're afraid, or they've been through situations where they don't want to help the other people for whatever reason, whatever circumstance that may be. Yeah. So how do you deal with that when people say, well, isn't your brother Tyrese? So why isn't he taking care of you? Why isn't, you know, this happening?
Right. I would tell anybody, number one, we're siblings and we've been grown a long time. We've been grown a very long time. And we all have our own journeys. So when this happened, it didn't happen because of a financial place that I was in my life. It happened due to the fact that my young husband had a stroke. And you know what I mean? He was only 36 years old. So him being the main breadwinner, it took us in a different route. And I had to go from doing all of my entrepreneurial stuff and into the mode of, let me take care of my husband, my young husband who had a stroke. And we just started losing in life. We just started, I couldn't get a grip on it. You know what I mean? And it had nothing to do with the status of who my brother is or any of that. Our situation went into a decline due to my husband's health. And so when people did find out, eventually a year or so later, they started finding out because I was still out there doing projects and still working in the entertainment industry. My husband eventually recuperated and he started filming, and he picked up a trade of videography and photography. So we started getting out there together and collaborating and making money. And that's how we started pulling ourselves out. If you were to ever read my media book, I talk about how the actual media business saved us. That's the way we made it through our situation, and we're able to get back on our feet because we kept doing all of these amazing entertainment gigs out in Las Vegas. So again, he helped me. My brother helped me. It wasn't a complete fail where he was like, "Oh, you on your own." It wasn't like that.
Yeah, because I was going to ask that question. Like, did you even think to reach out to him? I do understand where, you have a pride thing and you don't want people to feel like you're taking advantage or using them, especially when you have a man, because we know how our brothers and our fathers look at us when we in a relationship. Like, you should be able to hold it down. But we also know that they don't want to see us struggling. So I'm glad you ironed it out. You did reach out to him. And
I let him know, and I told him this was right before we lost our place. He actually paid for a couple of months of rent so we can stay in there a little longer. But it was we were just losing altogether. So even with his assistance, we weren't able to keep our place. And oh my God, that was such a crazy time in my life. But let me say this to everybody. In spite of things like that, I don't feel like anything happens by accident. If I wouldn't have been homeless, I never would have started Operation Bring Your Best, which was a voluntary program that we started in the community to help other homeless people. I wouldn't have been passionate like that and been out there like, let me go feed and clothe the homeless myself, because I wasn't touching no homeless people. I was just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in close encounters with the homeless community like that. But my God, when I tell you, when you've been through it, it creates empathy, and it gives you a heart for others that go through it, because what you find out is that people went in that direction. Everybody had a different path. It wasn't just because of drugs or, oh my God, I did this or that, or it was my doing that got me homeless. It's like you find out people have different paths, literally. And these folks were so intelligent. When we would go and have conversations with them, they were sleeping on the streets, but some of them had great jobs, at one point, or they were in a position, of success at one point, but something or some situation, changed their path, just like ours. So I found out so much stuff. I found out that you can set a fire with hand sanitizer. I was like, I never would have known that. Because some of them they need to light a fire to cook with, you know what I mean? While they're under the grounds. It was a lot of homeless under the grounds of Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So we would go in the trenches with the people under the grounds of Las Vegas in those cubbies and stuff like that. And we would go in there and feed them. I never wouldn't have done no crap like that. Wow. I was Queen G, you feel me? Like
yeah, you Tyrese sister.
Exactly. I never would have done that. But you know what? Like I said, everything happens for a reason. So I don't take none of it back. You know what I mean? I never will be upset or angry at God because our life took that route. And I just learned so much. You know, I learned that every dirty person that's on the street is not mentally unstable. They got all these preconceived notions about how they feel these people are. And I just found out it was so different than that. Wow. And it changed my life. It changed my life for the better. I am so much more humble for it. I have just, you know, I give now from my soul because of that moment in my life and because of what I experienced. So anyway.
now, Quincy, let me ask you this. Now, what's going through your head, right? You're a mother, you're the sister of Tyrese, and you're homeless from 2016 to 2018. What is going through your head for those 2 years?
During that time, survival. Survival. You're literally trying to keep your kids from being on the ground like the people that you're serving. You understand? It was the most humiliating time of our life. I mean, your kids are normal, so they're asking questions like, "Mommy, why don't we have our TV or our own remote or our own room?" And I have no answers for them. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to figure us out too, and trying to figure out how we go keep a roof over our head tonight. We literally lived in hotels and stuff like that. And it was angels that God sent my way that would fund us so that we can pay our rent every week on those weekly hotels. And I'm gonna tell this story, and unfortunately I gotta go because I gotta do a virtual birthday party for my husband, that same husband.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
A virtual turn up for him.
How's he doing? He doing good?
He's doing good. He's maintaining his health, and y'all listen. Me and him been together 13 years. We have written out so many storms, like in life. My recent seizures and him lifting me up off the floor. It's just like, come on, what's our next challenge? Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's go.
Tell us your story. Don't forget.
Okay. Oh, real quick. What was I gonna say? What was I about to say?
I don't know, but I definitely want, before you get out of here, make sure you leave us with some positive wrap up for 2020.
Okay. 2020. This is what I wanted to say. If you are here listening to the tone of my voice, you made it. First of all.
Yeah.
First of all. That's a blessing, because I know so many people that died this past year. You understand? Starting from Kobe Bryant at the beginning of the year, right? Major people that we never thought, you know what I mean, would not be around. Major people. You made it. You made it. So with that being said, you have to start from here. You understand? You got to lift your head up. You got to get up every day. You got to fight. You got to push like nobody's business. You know what I mean? You got to get up and push every single day. And appreciate the fact that you have breath in your body. That's a blessing. You know what I mean? We gotta take more accountability for that. Like, thank you, Jesus, for waking me up this morning and giving me breath in my body. So because I survived this, what is there for me to do? Evidently, if you're still around, there's something left for you to do. You understand? Don't ever take for granted seconds, hours, moments, minutes, none of that. Don't ever take it for granted ever again. You know what I mean? Because tomorrow is not promised. You know how we used to hear the minister say time is winding up and stuff? Come on now. Yeah. Didn't we see that this year? Didn't we see a reflection of that very thing? I felt the time winding up. When my homie Chris Bolton died, I was like, oh my God, I just seen him in Vegas. He came to Vegas. that's my homie. Like, he wasn't 50 yet. That's scary to me. You know, so I would tell everybody, if you made it, understand that there's a reason why you're still around. You know, begin to take accountability of what your purpose is in life, why you're here. What are you left here to do? Start getting legacy type things in order. And I'm talking, and you probably know a little bit about this, E Carrice, investments. Start putting your priorities in order. Put you a will together. You know what I mean? You want to know why I wrote books with my babies? So they can always have something. Legendary. Yeah. If I take my last breath tonight, you understand, they will always have something. So I would tell everybody, finish this year strong and just understand that you're blessed if you made it. You are blessed. Stop getting up every day and acting like your days is just whatever. We don't have whatever. You understand? We don't. I don't mean to get preachy, y'all, but it's real talk. Like, y'all made it. I'm looking at all of you who made it. We made it, y'all, this year. Everybody didn't make it. Start from there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's serious. It's serious. So I know I get deep, y'all, but it's a reason. It's a reason. Yeah. So y'all, listen, I gotta go. But follow me on all platforms. Queen G Live Experience. I have my own blog. I'm a author under the name Shanta Gibson. That's not under Queen G Live Experience. My author name is it's the real name. And thank you so much for having me. I have always wanted to be on your show. Like,
you know, for people who don't know, we used to be on a show same platform together, and your show came after mine. And every time I would come out, you always had that big, beautiful white smile, and we would hug each other, not say 2 words to each other, just how you doing, and out the door. And so, it's my pleasure to have you.
She always has some badass shoes. Her shoes used to always be badass. I was like, girl, come on, give it to me. Shoe cam, let's go.
Now it's just neck up, and I gotta be cute. This part, you can't be in the house, wearing shoes, whatever. But I just appreciate you for sharing your story, giving us some inspirational vibes. We definitely need them during these times, and you just keep on keeping on, sister, because I see what you're doing, and God bless you. And I know you got to come back, because I got to talk to the babies and understand how they collaborated with you and how hard it was for them to work with their mom.
Definitely. And check out that Tyrese interview that I just did on Queen G Live Experience. Check that out. That was major. He gave me an hour of his time, and he wanted to take it to Instagram. It was crazy that night, y'all. He did not want to stop talking.
That's what's up.
It's been some major interviews coming through. I just interviewed Sugar T, legendary Sugar T.
Okay.
Parnell off of Greenleaf. I did Teresa. She's on Family Reunion on Netflix. Like, I've interviewed some major. It's been some major people coming through. So I'm very grateful. Thank you guys all who support me out there. Queen G Live Experience, all platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, and keep following me. I'm gonna follow y'all. E Carrice, I love you, sis.
Hey. I love you back.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Enjoy the rest of your night. All right.
All right. Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
So that's Queen G. Hoo-dee-hoo. We listen, E Carrice rolled with us the whole ride. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Miss Trish, I think you behaved today. I don't think you was too bad.
Hey, listen, I think E Carrice might need her own show. Like, she needs to sit down. She needs her own 2 hours.
You see
she needs her own 2 hours.
You see what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I'm reading in between the lines now, first caller.
Yeah, because I didn't like the fact that she didn't even remember old dude's name who gave her name. He can't even get no love. 6 years later, she hot and popping out here. He can't get no love. Damn.
Call with it.
Women.
Listen, hear me in the
You're not gonna let that go.
You know what? I don't remember, but like I said recently though, I was on a live video and he was like, "I gave you that name," and I was like, "All right," but I did not know the man.
He looking for royalties.
I don't know that man.
I hear you. I ain't mad at you.
Before we get out of here, I just got a few questions to see if y'all still got y'all black cards, and then we about to wrap it up. I want to know, is it heroin or heroin, first caller?
I say heroin. Heroin. You want the heroin?
Okay, eat.
Like the drug?
Oh yeah, her car gone. Her car gone.
Oh, heroin.
Look.
Heroin.
He sound like the police.
It depends on who I'm talking to, but most times it's heroin.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna let you work on the syllables.
If I'm at work, I'm gonna have to pronounce it correctly because I don't want no questions. But heroin.
Yeah,
if you say heroin, I'm asking for your badge next.
Oh. I don't know about random. I don't know about no drugs. Although I do want y'all to know that I do sell drugs legally. I do own a cannabis business as well.
Okay.
What's the name?
Do tell. You go to cbdpremium.com. You can go to you can purchase extract bliss. You can purchase oils. You can purchase any pills and all of that stuff. Anything that you need, you can purchase those from CBD Premium. I've had that business for it's been almost a year and a half now. So I have 4 businesses now. I'm about to open another one. We'll talk about that one later. And
you got a Jamaican 15 jobs, and I think I love him.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay. Listen, that's awesome. And I know that's I don't see that industry ever slowing down. Ever. So
cannabis, absolutely.
Right.
And I'm not even the only reason why I even got into CBD was because when my grandfather got ill, my grandfather never did drugs, he never drank before. But when he was taking chemo and he lost his appetite and he couldn't rest well. And we're like, okay, well, let's try to give him some edibles, but they had THC in them, so he was high as a mug because he ain't never been high before.
Lit.
So
just
lit. So after that, thinking about, okay, how can you treat someone who has these types of symptoms without putting THC that's going to really make them high, and they've never been high before, So that was something that was important for me to do. So, it's been a cool journey with that.
That's what's up. Okay, is it McDonald's or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
That's funny as hell.
Is it McDonald's or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
When I was a kid, it was McDonald's. When I grew up, it was McDonald's.
Yeah.
I don't think I have ever said
kid, it was McDonald's.
I don't think I've ever said McDonald's.
Listen, when you're a kid and you say McDonald's and they pull in there, that's what it is. It's McDonald's.
And the cool thing about it is a McDonald's number one tastes different from a McDonald's Big Mac.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mickey D's. Yeah. That's
Michelle, Mickey D's. Okay, I say McDonald's. But I've heard people say McDonald's. Huh?
I guess I must be extremely proper.
Just proper. Okay.
But
so is it probably? Go ahead.
It's probably.
Probably or probably? First call said probably.
It's probably.
You put this proper one over here with the hot
PROLLY. Probably.
She about to say all the syllables. Go on and say it.
It's for sure probably.
For me, it depends again on who I'm talking to.
I do have a degree in English too, y'all.
But here's the thing: you playing spades, right? You talking to your partner, and y'all talking big shit. I probably could get you 6.
Yeah.
I would say probably.
And if you said probably,
you probably could get the smoke. You probably could get the smoke. You know what I'm saying?
I would say for sure probably, and I would get all of those books. Period.
Listen, when you're playing spades, so you try to get your point across, you ain't got time to be trying to enunciate. You got to say what you got to say and keep it pushing.
Probably
so.
Okay. Yeah, probably. See, probably is like you being aggressive. When somebody hear you say probably, they know you might get hit or something.
They know you mean business.
Probably.
I can't even say it right. Probably.
Well, probably. One time for the culture. One time for the culture.
What is it? Probably.
Yeah, just forget the D altogether. Right. Probably.
First of all, I'm keeping my black card. Forget y'all. Okay.
Listen. Okay. And last one. Is it is you or is it are you?
Is you.
Is you with it or are you with it?
Is you with it?
Oh, who I'm talking to?
Is you or are you?
It depends for me.
It's definitely
I know it's are you. I know how to enunciate every single last one of my words properly. I know how to do it all. But sometimes I'm speaking Ebonics, and that's just what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
It is what it is.
So is it and them or and them? I'm gonna go hang out with the homies in them or and them.
Do you say finna? I just want to know if you say finna.
You better not say fixing to.
E Carrice, do you say finna?
No.
You say fixing to?
She say finna.
Fixing to.
Oh, hell. Give me the goddamn card.
Yeah.
I didn't already vote my card.
You gotta
why y'all listen, I spent a lot of years. You know what it was though? My grandmother was a English professor, and she always corrected us or our family. You know, we spoke properly. Yeah. So it just carried over. I just never said like certain words because in my head I'm getting corrected in my head. So it's probably how it's going to be forever.
I don't think I've ever said fixing to.
I'm not fixing to.
I'll just say about to if I just gotta do all that.
You know, I did the study. I read about the word finna, and it's kind of like an African dialect. So it's really finna, but it's on the same. I can't remember, but it's along the African dialect. Brought that here from the continent. And shout out to Africa, who's on Facebook Live. Now I know because her mother would. We had to speak proper English because she would correct her. So I know why you feel like you just got popped by your mama, huh?
Right. Yeah, never is you. Never.
One thing I've never said is am. Am one of them. I saw a lady say that on the news and I was done. Am.
Yeah.
I was like,
I've never said am. I've never said
am. I've never said those two.
Yeah, people like am.
Man, like none, or am like none, I guess.
Oh, and like I don't have and dollars. Oh, I've said that.
Nan.
I know all the Ebonics. I know all the proper words.
Yeah, I say nan. I don't like nan one of them.
I love our lingo, and I love when we can just let our tongue be loose and just talk, and we understand each other, and it's understood. And just so y'all know, in the United States, there is no official language, so don't be embarrassed if you don't speak the Queen's English. But it's okay to know, to be bilingual, to be able to speak different languages, and be able to articulate yourself. And, you know, that impresses people, and then, whatever. But
whatever you fixing to do.
No.
Finna say.
See?
I don't know what one of y'all doing. It's been such a fun night, y'all. This is the last show of the year for In Your Ear Radio After Dark. I just love and appreciate y'all for just pulling up and being a part of it. I don't know. People be like, I can't wait for 2021. And I just say, I'll just be there because I don't know what 2021 might be worse than 2020. It might be the deficit. So listen, I don't know.
2020 has been interesting. It's been an interesting year. I think that for most people who are business owners, it actually has been more successful for a lot of entrepreneurs. Yeah, I think because especially if you have the wherewithal to dig deep and re-strategize. If you can go in and create if you just created a whole new strategy and run your business completely different, and until you have this light bulb that came off and like, oh my God, I could have been doing this whole time. So I think that it kind of gave a lot of people some, insight because they got a chance to sit with themselves and be quiet, and then create other ideas because there were restrictions on some things that we could and couldn't do. So I think that 2020 has been interesting. I lost a lot of family members, a lot of my senior family members on my mother's side, and I think that it's. I think I got to the point where I'm like, I can't even express an emotion because I'm like, this is crazy. Like this is, it's a lot going on.
There's no words for it.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's my word. It's a lot. That sums it all up. It's a lot.
Goodness, yes, it's a lot. But I think. I just think that we just have to remember that nothing is going to be the same as it was yesterday. Those whatever we did last year, that is not going to be the same. So I think that us knowing that we have to now make some changes and become a new people essentially, and then we have to communicate with people differently. We have to love people differently. And I don't know if y'all got y'all superpowers, but I got mine.
That's what I meant to talk about today, and I didn't get a chance to because everybody's on social media about superpowers. I'm like, what movie did I miss?
2020. You starring in it. You can't say it because you're starring in it.
You got your superpower.
Thank you, brother. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think that
I say we've been had them. We just.
Right. I think that they were going to be enhanced. Yeah, they were going to be enhanced. So I think that they're enhanced. We'll see what 2020 brings. And I don't know. I'm just here for whatever at this point.
Yeah.
I literally don't know what else we could experience, but who knows?
Right. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Just wait for what's next. I mean, goodness. Miss Trish, you got a superpower?
Shit. No, I just think that I've always been pretty optimistic, pretty positive, and just pretty fun and inspiring. I am a Scorpitarius.
Okay. Right on the line. It's that Sagittarius part that just makes you optimistic and just whatever.
But if you had to choose a side, what side would you choose? I'm a Scorpio.
Sagittarius. That's what side she gonna choose.
Oh hell no.
I'm smack dab in the middle. Like I literally have both traits. I do.
I'm a Libra all day, every day. That's me. I'm a Libra.
But I think that the fact that I've always been like that kind of inspires other people to do the same. Because sometimes there's you can get caught in a funk and in a rut. And I think if you have that one person that you can call and they can kind of like get you out of that and have you think in a different way, I think that's a superpower. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Yep, I agree with that.
I like that.
I think that's something that just a lot of people don't have that optimism. A lot of people I know some people that just worry about everything, and I'm like, I'm just never been a worrier. I've been like a planner. I'm definitely a planner. I'm in all things strategic when it comes to like I want it to be done this way. But in my head, if it doesn't go that way, I can quickly adjust and not worry myself to death because it doesn't go the way that I planned it to go. And I think a lot of times, people go through those situations where they just worry themselves to death. And I'm like, listen, don't worry about things that are beyond your control. Just, figure out how you need to move now or, figure out a new strategy. And I think that those things work well. I've never been, and I'm not a rah, yell at you type of person. I'm I can be chill and like, hey, this is what I think. And I've always been expressive. I always say how I feel about something, which could be a curse for some people who are not receptive to, understanding that you can share your feelings without it being, a whole situation. But I just think that people need to be open, and hopefully this year it allows people to be open and, in touch with their own feelings, in touch with other people, allowing them to, deal with this whole pandemic like they needed to. Like if they needed to be emotional, if they needed to be by themselves, if they needed to be, you know what I mean? All of those things. Sometimes you just need a minute.
That 2020 hindsight, remember everybody was talking about 2020, how they see better. And I told people 2015 vision is better than 2020 vision.
Ooh, I looked it up. Mine.
But everybody was talking about 2020. What vision you got over there?
My vision gone. I went to the optometrist the other day. He was like, child, you need these bifocals. I was like, Lord, help me.
that's what's up.
He's like, yeah, that right eye.
Yeah. Mine's the left. First caller, what's your superpower?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I'm learning because I'm sitting here with 3 strong women. I'm uncomfortable as hell because y'all so strong in your own right, and I don't want that to be a negative. I'm bullshitting a little bit when I say I'm uncomfortable. Y'all so strong, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I think we need to see more of that. You know what I mean? So I'm soaking it all up. So for me, my superpower is shut the fuck up and listen. I don't always got it right. You know what I mean?
That's a great superpower to have.
I come from a world to where at work, now I'm in an area where it's predominantly white, right? But I've been their boss for years. I love telling these white boys what to do. You know what I mean? And so for me to hear 3 women of color just get their shit off and just even with Queen G, just express yourself and be strong, that's different for me. And I appreciate that. So for me, I'm just soaking it all up. So I appreciate y'all.
That's what's up. I like the superpower. So Miss Trish, you said I'm still thinking, I'm like, what is my superpower? I think my superpower is determination. I am a willful soul. I've always been one, regardless. No matter what my circumstances have been, I've always made up my mind about what my end game was going to be. And I've always lived up to that, you know, and I appreciate that about myself, but I guess that's my superpower. Just determination. I'm determined. I don't know. You guys are in the chat.
I love that.
We still here. Look, we still here. But we wrapping up. This is the last time we're gonna chat in 2020. And y'all know tomorrow we don't know what's gonna happen next. So you know, I'm not rushing y'all at all. You know what I'm saying? You wake up and it's breaking news and some BS.
Listen, all this 2020, I swore every day I woke up like, what? I'm sorry to say this. You know, I've been trying not to cuss. I was like, what the fuck? Every single morning,
every day.
I woke up. I was like, every day. It was like, what in the entire fuck is going on? Like,
I stopped watching the news. I couldn't do it. Like, I watch it once a week just to kind of get caught up. Like, somebody was telling me about the Nashville stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
Right. It's just random weird stuff. And then you looking because they talking about an explosion, but I'm looking for a body count, like who got hurt. And it's like, oh, supposedly human remains were found. What the hell is this? This is Resident Evil.
They gave a 30-minute warning. The van just kept telling people evacuate. If you could hear this, evacuate. Now that was some.
I got my own theory.
That was some planned shit by the people same people that want to give us that goddamn vaccine.
Now,
hold on now. Or that one person who might just want to stay in office because if there is a war ignited, there's no transference of power.
It wouldn't have been.
But I ain't want to gossip, so you ain't heard.
So who you think who did the bomb?
Girl, did you just hear what I said?
No.
The man that don't want to leave on the
the man who don't want to leave the house.
I'd be so glad when he goes. I'm tired of talking to him. Shout out to Africa. I don't know if she's saying good night. You going to bed, lady? We up too late for you, but she said good show. God bless, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you as always. Okay, yeah, Trump is on his BS, but I'm not worried about him. I'm not losing sleep about that dude. I'm just tired of seeing his orange butt on my TV screen. I'm gonna turn it off if people still show him.
We have to wait
after January 20th.
We have to wait for we have to get Joe sworn in. If Joe doesn't get sworn in, we screwed. Okay, all we need to do is get Joe sworn. If Joe can just say yes, I will and I do. And then
he can swear on the dictionary, huh?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. And then Kamala can come up and she can handle the rest.
Yeah, I like
that. We just need to make it to the swearing. That's it.
It's called how you have to hold your breath, like you can't relax until that day. It's like every date we get to, even with the Electoral College, we have to wait until they actually made it official. Even though we saw the numbers,
they did, right?
No, they did. January.
Can I ask y'all?
I thought it was December.
Yeah, December 14th.
Now, can I ask y'all a question?
They solidify those votes.
I would like to ask y'all a question, right? Because I remember what Barack signified for us as black men. What about Kamala being a woman of color? What does that signify for y'all?
Kamala?
Yeah,
she's just the vessel to get us to where we needed to be, and that was away from Trump for me. I respect all women because you look at her resume, where she's come from. She's an educated woman. She went from being a prosecutor. I want to say obviously a senator, but in between that, she has proven that she can hold her own. So I respect her in that respect. But if I was having to choose a president, she would not have been my first pick. She was just that vessel to get us away from Trump, and God bless her. And I still respect for what she brings to the table for sure.
I see completely on the opposing side.
I see her the same way I saw Barack. Thank God, great. That shit. Okay. Fuck. It's about fucking time.
Maybe I'm not taking it in because everybody's saying this is a black woman. Maybe I'm not taking it in. I'm just so focused on just getting that orange dude out of office. I can't even
fucking educated not to be
a black vice president. I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, I definitely feel like I felt some pride when she, said, "We did it, Joe. We did it." Yes, I felt some pride when she was like, "Yes, we did this." You know what I mean? But I feel like she's black. I feel like she hella black, and I feel like when I hear black people disrespect her blackness, it pisses me off. When I hear black people say, "Oh, she's not black enough," I'm like, the chick went to Howard. She's part of the Divine Nine
sorority.
Like, how much blacker y'all want this lady to be? Like,
because they didn't know. They did
know.
She's black as fuck, just like Barack was. Everybody say he was the first black president. That man was 50% white. He black, she black. Fuck it, let's go.
Listen, if that didn't work, they said Obama wasn't born here. They dogged him out.
Yeah,
nobody believe that.
It's ridiculous. Of course, we know how we get treated in all circumstances, in our own jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be over white men all the time. You know what I mean? And they, to this day, got a problem, with that being the case. So I felt proud when Kamala was elected. Essentially, yes, she's going to be the vice president. Women have been, running the show better than men all of these years.
Relax. So she got to relax.
That may be an unpopular opinion to men.
Yeah,
but it's the reality. It is
a reality. I don't know why women are so discriminated against. We're the reason why life exists. Like, we push babies up out of places that men will never understand. But you want to treat us like second-class citizens, where we have to fight for our right to vote, fight for our right to have credit, fight for our right to be homeowners. It's so ass backwards. How do we let them do this though?
It's not we. Go back and read the Bible. These are why I have concerns about my the way that I engage in religion and spirituality. There's Bible told people to treat you like that, and I'm not accepting of it. So those are my thoughts. Like I said, and
the Bible is currently
written by men. The books are written by men. Go ahead, Trish. I'm sorry.
Well, there's different versions of the Bible. They even have what's called. Well, but they even have a slave Bible.
The Bible has been written over 40,000 times.
And this last one that everybody reads, it was in 1611. 1611. We was already over here.
That's when they were bringing us over here. That was when slavery was starting. And they had to make sure they had everything right.
Can you say that one more time? This is when what was started? I'm sorry.
Well, we were already here when that damn thing was written.
Child, listen. Listen, my thoughts are risky about this. A lot of people that I believe that, Christianity is great for, keeping people in line and having faith and believing in something. I don't want that for anyone who believes that in any way, shape, or form. Because I still believe that there's a God. I believe that, some things about the Bible I believe to be, along the right path. Although I believe that it may have been rewritten after those 40,000 times. But, there's some things that I still believe to be true. But back to your question of why we get treated like that. Check out the Bible.
Well,
yeah.
So as a woman,
I think God is a woman. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
How do we get here?
Absolutely.
Look. And when I say that, men do exactly that.
Listen, every time I see
I'm sorry, fellas.
so every time I see someone write, "Oh God," and he, so I'd be like, "No, she. You mean she?" That's what I really be thinking.
No,
I don't even comment anymore because I'm like, I ain't got time.
And honestly, I don't think God is only a woman. I'm gonna just say that. I think God is a combination of a lot.
Considering what a woman is, how we give birth.
But you can't discount the woman part. The woman part is a huge part of what God is. God has birthed this whole universe. You know what I'm saying? So only women can birth anything.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
When y'all can birth something.
But also, I just feel as if you can't birth a child without us. You know what I mean? One way or the other.
You absolutely
right. You do need sperm to make
not
the egg.
According to Mary and Joseph.
That was one case of immaculate conception.
I don't subscribe to that theory.
You don't think
Jesus
was born? You don't think Jesus was born from Mary?
No, I don't think so. I don't even think Jesus was the greatest prophet in his era. But that's none of my business.
First of all, if somebody don't tell a story about Jesus and Mary Magdalene, because I really need to know how many kids they had together because they playing.
Okay. Right.
At the end of the day, I just, I feel like I'm intelligent enough to be able to throw out the bones. You know what I'm saying? So I take it for what it's worth when I'm reading things. I can identify wisdom and I can identify the personal opinions in anything I read. That includes the Bible. I don't think it's holy. I don't think that it's not mixed, diluted, or tampered with. I don't think that, because these books only consist of men's writings, not women's again. And some books were excluded. So, but there is some wisdom and there's some things that we can, it's no different from a child seeking guidance from a mother or a father, right? We look for them to tell us. They might not be perfect, but we do look for them to give us direction. I think in these books like the Bible and the Quran and the Torah and things of that nature, we can find some wisdom in it if we don't have an understanding. Sometimes, I had a cousin say she just opened the Quran and it just takes her to a story and it's like answers a question to her in her personal life. So, that's how I perceive it. I don't get real particular and judgmental, about everything, because I know a lot of it is sexist. A lot of it is, based on whatever they want the people to do. I always think of the movie, The Book of Eli, how that man was so, gung-ho on getting that Bible so he could manipulate the masses. And we talked about the Bible coming, the version coming out in 1611. That was during the slavery period. They revised that to be able to manipulate the masses. You have people that were enslaved believing that this was their destiny. This was their being obedience to God, because they needed something to believe in. And I do too, because, with all the grief and the loss, I need something to believe in. And I know that there's something greater than myself, and I do bow down to something greater than myself, but I don't understand what it is. I just know that.
And I think that those things come to you. Like I'm settled with what I feel and what I believe, and I'm okay with it. So I think that those things will come to you. You'll have like that enlightening,
in different ways.
And there's a lot of different religions, and there's probably some gems in all of them. This is one thing that I recommend for everybody. If you get a chance to go to Italy, go to the Vatican.
That's boss talk.
And I tell you, that is the most craziest experience I've ever had in my life.
But where?
To the Vatican. The Vatican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They say you can drive around there in like 40 minutes.
I went in. The Pope was there. He drove off. I went inside the Vatican. When I tell you, oh my God! This year I plan to go back because I wanted to go, and because when I went the first time I was so overwhelmed, I didn't get a chance to really look at the stuff that's super important for me to understand. So when you go into the Vatican, the previous popes are in these glass cases floating and glowing, and you just go by and see them and give them a
wait. Like a hologram of them?
I heard about that.
No, ma'am. It's their bodies.
Shut
in a glass case, floating in a glass case, and their skin is illuminated, like there's a light under their skin.
Yeah.
And so what are they stuffed with something?
I think they might have a light inside of them. I don't know. And
read about that.
After thinking about it more, the possibility of the glass case being full, like it being like they weren't floating, like the whole case was just glass and it looked like they were floating in there. That's a possibility. But they were glowing, and I was like,
whoa.
Now, with this being in the Vatican, I gotta ask, was there little boys there too? I'm just saying.
So we were tourists, so we were there just.
So you don't know.
But this new pope is real rebellious, right? He doesn't even live there. He don't live at the Vatican. He live in a little condo. He drove his little Fiat. He got a little Fiat and drove back by himself. He don't want security. They have to force him to have security. He said he here for the gay people. Like, he's really radical. However,
he got a husband at home?
No, I don't think he does.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're allowed to have.
And he supports Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he was here for the Black Lives Matter. Anyway, so when I went in, the art that's on the ceilings and the walls tell you a story. But I was so overwhelmed when I walked in, I didn't get a chance to look at the story. And I think that is important, because I heard that it tells you about us being the indigenous people. It tells you the story about
a lot of that stuff came from Egypt.
Of course. Well, the thing is, I mean, I'm convinced that this shit was all together in the first place. So that's why we were the indigenous people. When it split up, we split on each continent, and it is what it is. But those are my risky thoughts, and they're hot.
Listen. That's what this platform is for. When it comes to In Your Ear Radio, daytime or after dark, we definitely talk about kitchen table topics. We talk about things that we don't necessarily talk about in public, but I like to bring it to the forefront, because these are things we talk about, and we need to share them with each other and pick each other's brain and get different perspectives. And it causes us to go and do the research, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with having an open mind and respecting different points of views, because it could lead you to some type of understanding. And I'm all about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So listen, I don't think we can go wrong.
To Italy.
Go to Italy.
I'm very interested
to the Vatican.
Go to the Colosseum too in Rome. Rome was my favorite. Go to the Colosseum in Rome. It's like you could feel the energy of that place. And just remember that the people who are fighting in the Colosseum look like us. They don't look like the people that's on those pictures that we saw in history.
Right.
So when you walk in there, and it may just be me because I was Black, you walk in and you feel the energy of that space. And it's like it's crazy. Like I really recommend everybody that can take that trip.
Now with Rome, pardon my ignorance, I heard in Rome the homosexual community is high because everybody's so pretty. They just sleep with everybody because they're all pretty. Is that true or no? Or
somebody?
I know the Italian men that I encountered in Italy love Black women. That's all I can tell you.
Oh damn! Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about all of that. I mean, I feel like you should be free. Love who you love.
I agree.
I do want y'all to know that Venice stinks. It stank. I'm gonna say it like that.
All that damn water. They travel like we travel in cars. They travel in their little, little boats.
It smells like fish.
It smells like stank. Okay. If you can figure out what stank smell like, that's what it smell like. And I'm not a shopper. When I went to Venice, everybody went with, they wanted to go shopping, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go to this castle and visit this prison, and I'm good. But it was just stinky, and I wasn't a fan. But I did take some beautiful photos there though. So
yeah, it's a good backdrop for sure.
But I do think. One other thing. I'm sorry, and I just want to tell you.
Go ahead.
So one other thing about Italy is I went to Pisa, and I went to where the tower was.
That's what I want to.
And they basically took dirt from the Holy Land where they were fighting, brought it to Pisa. So the land that's there, the dirt literally that's there, is the land that they brought, the dirt that they brought from the Holy Land,
the fighting grounds.
Exactly. So I think that when I think about Italy, I feel like it was our people that
Of
were
course.
there.
Oh wow.
But now,
teachers know that for sure.
But now when we see Italy, they don't look like us. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
But I do think that's a great experience to go and find out about, you know, you and who you are. And a lot of people will be like, what, Italy? But my personal experience was completely different than, you know, it being white Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we riding this out. I appreciate y'all. This is nothing but love that y'all still here. You know, like I feel like it's New Year's Eve, but it's not.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's just the first day of Kwanzaa, but this is unity. This is what unity looks like. Us coming together and, you know, bringing our thoughts together and thinking of ways in which we can impact change, right? You know, we can do that in so many different ways. And so it's always, and it's four of us, you know, what do they say? What's the story? If two or more or something.
Three in Jesus, or for a prayer or church or something like that. If 3 or more, that's church.
Something like that. Come together. God hears us, right? God hears us. So
the God is in the midst.
Yeah, something like that.
2 or more gathered together.
You are.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this. We all know that 2020 has been a fucked up year. What are some of the positive takeaways from 2020? For y'all personally?
For me, it really hasn't been fucked up, and I hope I'm not. I need to knock on some damn wood.
Let's go.
But it really hasn't been fucked up. I thank God for the many blessings that she has bestowed upon me.
Oh my! Okay. You gotta relax. Just gotta relax.
No, really, no. But no. In all seriousness, I work from home. Got a chance to spend more time with my son. He's doing school from home. I make sure we get out in the sun because we still need the sun. As Black people, we are sun people. You need the sun. So get your ass out in the sun, even if it's just in the backyard. Even if it's in the backyard to drink your coffee, go out there and let that sun hit your skin. We need that to be healthy. So more health conscious, taking, lots of vitamins, supplements, things like that, taking care of my body, working out here at home. So some positives is I just got some good routines at home and figured it out.
That's what's up. Before you add to it, Carrice, I just want to thank everybody again that's on Facebook Live and YouTube that are still rolling with us. Again, we closing out this year and we just gonna chop it up. So, we done. So I appreciate y'all for rolling with us.
I'm trying to think of what are my positive takeaways.
Right.
You got 1.8 million followers as to why you should, discuss your positive takeaways. You
can't see the forest for the trees right now.
Right, yeah. Black business in the midst of a pandemic, you killing it.
I mean, those are definitely that all had to do with re-strategizing. So yes, I guess a positive would be me having the ability to re-strategize. I did spend a lot of time alone this year. And two, one thing that was positive is that towards the beginning of this our little lockdown, like March area, I was dating, but I was dating someone and I was like, I could check in with them or not. Like I've always been like, I'm gonna let you do you. I'm gonna do me. I don't need you to hound me. I'm not gonna hound you. We check in. That's cool. And so I ended up during this pandemic going on a date with someone, and the first date, he was like, I want you to make sure that you're consistent. And I was like, what you mean? What you mean consistent, right?
Okay.
And he said like, he said, I want you to make sure that you're consistent with contact, and you're consistent with going on dates. So I'm like, damn, this is the first date. I'm like, dude, he might be a little much or whatever, right? So held me accountable to being consistent. And so I didn't realize that with me not checking in with other people I was dating as often as I probably should have, it kept me with a disconnection. So I was able to connect, with him closer because I'm giving that, I'm giving that, not the parole officer though, because
parole officer. Shout out to Jimmy on Facebook Live.
But because I was giving him, more, I was giving myself more, and I think that's one thing that I learned. So that I do have to check in. I do have to kind of give extra effort in order to make those energetic connections with people. And
fading away your sound. Where your mic at? What happened?
Can you hear me at all? I had to take.
I can hear you.
Off.
You sound like it got lower.
Okay, we good? Can y'all hear me though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I think that was the takeaway is holding myself accountable and having other people, I guess, hold you accountable to being consistent. And I think that was a good transition. I'm really trying to think, because this year has been trying when it comes to anything outside of work. Like I said, I think that for this year, in terms of business, for most people, business has been fairly successful. Those who are employed may have had more of a struggle. But I think those things have been great. However, like I said, spending that time alone, and during this half of this year, I had a grandmother who was deathly ill, so it's like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I can't really go and hang out, with my grandmother per usual, because I could get her sick and make her even sicker, than
it's traumatizing.
Yes. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna keep my ass at home. So I think that, so it's a little bit trying. So I'm really trying to dig deep when it comes to answering your question as to, what are my positive takeaways. And
okay, so let me rephrase it there. Miss E Carrice, as a business owner, a woman, a Black woman in the midst of a pandemic, how do you survive?
Re-strategizing. But that has been consistent the entire time that I decided to become an entrepreneur in the first place.
I don't think everybody has been able to like that.
Easier said than done, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because not everybody is even tech savvy, right? And so you kind of have to be tech savvy right now in order to pivot and make that adjustment.
Yeah, my grandma almost 90 tech savvy. I hear you.
And be a people person. More importantly, be a people person. People gotta like you now in the current times.
Yeah,
you can't get on Zoom and have
good customer service.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that for me, my background comes from providing service to people who were extremely wealthy. Essentially, some of my clients were Nike and Apple. You know what I mean? Like, I'm dealing with their CEOs of those companies. So, and then too, I also came from always having to re-strategize. So when you're in a marketing situation and you work for a technology company, you're always having to re-strategize because your neighbor or your competitors is always coming up with a new plan, a new commercial. They got a new spokesperson, so on and so forth. So it's like, I've always been in a mode of re-strategizing. So this wasn't that difficult for me personally to re-strategize during this time. It may have been difficult to try to transition people to get on board with some of the new things, but it wasn't that difficult. So in terms of business, it's been a win. It's been a win. It's definitely been a challenge trying to, get through just some of the small changes. But for me, because everything is online now, I'm an online business. Yeah. People advertise online. People are listening to radio online. They're listening to podcasts online.
And it's easier to book too, because it's not a lot of in between. It's just, popping on the screen from where you're at. And I appreciate that as much. I didn't mean to, cut you off. I was just thinking about when you said tech savvy, Trish. I just thought about my grandma, like we text. So, but I want you to elaborate on that more too, because Is that a struggle? Are you finding that with people that they can't communicate because they're not really good with their phone?
Me or who are you talking to?
No. Yeah, you, Trish.
Oh no. I think that a lot of the apps right now has made life so much easier, and they're very user friendly. And I think that people can, if they put their minds to it, they can definitely re-strategize and make it happen. But some people just don't, they're not as positive and they're not as optimistic, and they don't necessarily want to make the change, and they just want it to be back to normal. Whereas you said, E Carrice, earlier, we ain't going back there. No. It ain't gonna be like it used to be. So you gotta move forward, So
I have noticed a lot of people that aren't tech, people have been utilizing different forms of technology. And I think that they're like, look, this is
forced to do it.
This is what we have now. So I think that that's been good. Like even with the station though, in terms of utilizing platforms to like this, we can, but we really haven't had to. I mean, I do it only because I have a co-host that I've always had who lives in Houston, and he does a segment on my show. But other than that, and I only did that because I'm like, it's only me and him now because I changed the way that my show structure is, because I usually have three guests, on my show, and I ain't have no guests because I don't want none of y'all, Rona. But I love you. But I usually have 3 guests physically in the studio. But I changed the format, so now his segment is the whole show. So I just decided, you know what, instead of just hearing his voice, cool, we'll just zoom you in and we'll do that. But I do think that this, this access to this technology is great. Like I said earlier, we did have a Jaguar Wright, but she physically came here.
I gotta check that out.
And she was in the studio, and ooh, child, she's something special. But
wow. Listen, she is who she is, right, for sure.
But I think that in terms of other formats, like, having different meetings and things like that you have with people, we could have been doing this all this time. We could have been having these Zoom calls, whatever. Me being in technology, these calls that we have like this, we've been doing this for 10, 20 years. This isn't new to me.
You conditioned for this.
Yeah, we've always done that. We've always had remote offices. I traveled, so half my team was here. We were in Kansas, somebody in California, somebody in Hawaii.
Oh.
So we've always had that type.
I just looked up Jaguar Wright, and now I know who she is.
Wow.
I've heard some of her, I'm going to say rants and shit. I had to like Google shit.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Hold on. So, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna think of what other positive things. Like I said, this was a trying year in terms of trying not to be depressed. Like for me, I live in a high rise. Gyms closed, pools closed. I've decided that this is for sale, and I will be purchasing a house with a pool and a place my personal gym, because I cannot. And I think that probably has ruined a little bit of my sanity.
Do you still have to pay for those amenities?
My HOA fees, they try to give you a little bit of discount, but then they try to do some extra stuff to be like, oh no, we're doing this extra stuff in order to, HOA fees still get paid, but they ain't shit.
My positive takeaway, I mean, I definitely count my blessings. I'm one of them people, when it comes to change, I go kicking and screaming, whether it's positive or negative. I struggle with getting a new car, like it's not, it's like it's even if it's a good change, I still overthink it and I'm stressing about it. But working from home has definitely been a beautiful thing. It definitely meshes with my personality and my mornings. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I'm still able to pay my bills. I'm not worried about taking care of business, and even more importantly, I can be there for other people if need be that aren't so lucky to be in that situation. So it's been a lot of positive. It's been very eye-opening for me. but I was already going through my thing since 2018. And so it was kind of like, I felt like everybody was getting on my level now. If you was depressed, hey boo.
Right.
Welcome.
Come in.
Hey boo.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
You was just, going through whatever you was going through. I'm like, finally, everybody on my level, because it really feels isolating. And not to say that everybody not going through stuff, but when you do go through stuff, it kind of feels like you're doing it by yourself, even when you're not. So it really felt isolating. And then to come into 2020 and see all of these deaths, to see, and in a way, we see people, that we idolize die, like we don't expect them to die. Then we have people close to us, right up under us, die. Everything is so sudden and unexpected, and everybody's being touched. Everybody's being affected by COVID. Everybody's being affected by death. Everybody's being affected by the economy. We can all relate to some level. You got some weirdos out there that got to get sick before they know and understand what we're going through. But the majority of us, we have that level of empathy now, because we're all being affected in some way or another in 2020. So, I appreciate that message from, the Most High, to let me know that you got to go through something in order to get to where you're trying to go sometimes. And I don't really know what this is supposed to be. I feel like it's a thing. Whatever this is, it's a thing, and it's taking us somewhere. It's
connected to our superpowers.
Yeah, it's a thing. And I feel grateful too that I have my superpowers, because there are days that I don't want to keep going. But I look up, I'm like, girl, if you don't go put your lipstick on and comb your hair, and you know what I'm saying? Because that's what gets me in the spirit of keep going. Whatever your thing is, that's my thing. Yeah. Just freshening up.
Depression is a real thing. I think all 2019, I was like super duper depressed. Towards the end of the year, I started to feel lighter. And mind you, that was my most successful year financially ever. Like, it was a great year for business, but I was just so depressed. I didn't even want to go out with friends. I was like, I'm cool. Like, I'm good. I just needed to, be in my own space. And then I started to feel, good. I was like, cool. I'm planning all of this travel. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to get out of here. We're about to be good.
Right.
We got a damn pandemic, and then at the same time, I had, like I said earlier, I had my grandmother who was deathly ill, and, unfortunately passed away this year. And that was like the love of my life. You know what I mean? So that put me back into a space where I'm like, okay, not only were we stuck at home, I just lost the person I love the most in the world, and that's a very difficult situation to go through. And I think everybody goes through certain things, and they have losses. They go through things, and I think it's okay for you to feel your feelings. And I'm all about feeling my feelings. And I knew that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and just feel my feelings and take a minute and just be with myself and try to figure out how I'm gonna process through this and go from there. But I think that so I think that for me, with like balancing everything positive about business was that was the highlight. Everything positive. I'm grateful. I'm thankful for everything that I was able to accomplish with that. But then when it comes to other things, I'm like, it was tough, So and I think people should be open enough to be okay with sharing that. Listen, I'm going through a situation, and then other people being understanding, like, I'm going through this shit. Like, I can't snap myself out of it. I need to go through the whole process of it, and I think that that's absolutely okay. For people to have to deal with what they deal with, and that's fine. So those of you who out there who may have experienced some sort of depression and you don't really know what it is, first of all, I'm an advocate of therapy. I've been an advocate of therapy. I dated a damn therapist. She needed therapy. I went to therapy, and
I might need therapy.
Oh, I recommend therapy. Listen, it's so helpful to help you process through things you ain't even realize that were bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I personally haven't had any childhood trauma. People have been in a situation where molested, or maybe their parents were, under the influence or something. I've never experienced that personally. So, there are some things that I feel like I didn't really have to tap into that, you know what I mean? Because I ain't, that didn't bother me, that wasn't my life. So, but after, going to therapy and understanding there are smaller things that, that I probably needed to be able to process through and communicate differently with people and be open. And I think that those things allowed me to be today, to be free to discuss the things that I want to discuss and be free to, denounce some things that I learned, in my life that are different. So therapy, everybody should go to therapy. Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody. Everybody.
We pushing into this third hour and we're going to close out soon, but I don't think first caller really elaborated on what positive thing came out of 2020 for him. So I'm going to give him this opportunity.
Like for me, I think what I learned in 2020, just slow down. Like being married, my wife tell me all the time, nigga, are you listening? What are you listening to? And I get caught up with work, the kids. So it's so much going on. And as the man of the household, I feel like I'm always on go mode. You know what I mean? And it's okay to slow the fuck down and listen to your woman, listen to the kids, and listen to your environment, opposed to always being on go. And that's what I learned with the pandemic. Shit outside is still closed. You know what I mean? So I learned to just slow down and just relax and go with the flow. Don't try to manipulate the flow. Things go through slow. I'm like, it's quiet. Shit, what's going on? I need some ruckus. Like, nah, it's not always the case. You know what I mean? So I learned to slow down. Slow down.
Yeah. I think everybody literally had to slow down. I think everybody's patience was tested, with the lines and the 6 feet distancing and all of the everything, the mask, the whole thing. Like, you forget your mask. Fuck, I got to go all the way back to the car because I forgot it. So now I got, so I think everybody literally has had to slow down, be really present in the moment, and basically figure out how you're going to communicate with other people, because we literally are all in this thing together, or not. You're right, because
and that's what I learned that time. Yeah, go ahead.
I found that there are some people that I literally don't like. And I'm okay with it. No, for real, I don't.
You learned that during the COVID. That's when you learned that,
right? Yes. That's
because every time I talk to you, and it's just, I come on now, shit. So yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, some people I realize I don't like, and some people I realize they cool as shit.
Right, and you were actually communicating with these people. Like thinking like, oh, in the past life, in our past life, we communicated with these people. And then this year we didn't really have to communicate with them often. So you realize, you know what, I really don't like your ass.
You don't miss them.
And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with setting you free.
That's definitely a form of freedom. I agree with that. But I know, just to go even deeper with that conversation, because you see a lot of memes and posts about people saying, yeah, who really care, who's been checking on you during this. And I went on to just push, instead of putting that negative energy out there, just focusing on who has or hasn't been checking on you. Just know and understand, for those who you think should be checking on you, you never know what they're going through. So sometimes you have to check in on them.
Listen,
sometimes you got to check in on them. Because anytime I have, it's been a whirlwind. I'd be like, well, damn, shit, I'm doing good. Here I am over here thinking about, and I do this. I have a talk with myself whenever I have to check myself. And I think it's important that we all check ourselves, especially we get old and mature. We have to realize we're not always right. And I tell myself, LaToya, it's not always about you. Just because somebody's not calling you, it's not about you. It's because you haven't heard from this person. It's not about you. And that's what I have to tell myself when I get a chip on my shoulder. Like, I went through all of this and this person ain't even checked on me. At the same time, I'm checking on people that don't expect me to check on them, because this energy and the spirit calls me to let me just see what this person's doing. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, you never know. You could be saving somebody's life just by doing what the spirit moves you to do, but not holding grudges, because that energy goes onto your organs, goes onto your lungs, goes onto your mind, goes onto your spirit, goes onto your life. And it just puts you in a mood you don't need to be in. Because like you said, y'all all agree that those who we ain't really checking for, or that we ain't, the vibe ain't there, we don't miss it. So we're
good. I just had a conversation.
Compartmentalize things.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
I just had a conversation the other day. Somebody called me, and they may be on this live. I don't know. Somebody called me. I hadn't talked to them in a while, And at the end of the conversation, it was like, well, I call who I want to call. And I was like, I'm not calling anyone. Okay. I'm not talking to anybody at this time. I'm doing me, like I felt like, like, okay, I'm glad you called. I'm glad that you decided that you go call who you call, but I ain't got it in me to call you. And that's how I really felt. Sometimes you just don't have it in you. I can still love you. And I just don't have the energy to communicate with other people right now. I ain't got
protect your energy.
Right. So it's like, and the thing is that I think sometimes with what you're saying, like, people, you having to check yourself about, other people not checking on you. And I think that a lot of people have to, especially during this time, because you don't know what people are experiencing.
Oh,
you don't know how they're feeling.
And if you call them, you will learn today. Trust and believe they're not over there tomorrow. Hey, we partying. It's gonna be a story for you. Trust and believe.
Right.
Now, what I want to say to Miss E Carrice, I agree with you 100%, right? But I also feel as if when you're that strong friend that everybody reaches out to from day in and day out to offer them some sort of comfort, you now assume the responsibility to comfort them at their time of need, right?
No.
I just feel like when you've been solid, it's your responsibility to stay solid.
No.
I
might not be solid.
It's my responsibility to be human. Okay.
Thank you. That part.
And the reality is that sometimes I got shit. Okay. And
you're right. I agree. I agree with that.
Sometimes y'all, I am known to be the strong friend. Okay. And I don't have a problem. And the thing is, my true friends know that if I need a minute, they go give me a minute, and they still love me, and they still go check in whenever they check in. I know to let them be. I know they need to, have their own time. I know if they're going through something, I can feel their energy with that. I don't hold them accountable. I don't hold them at fault because they don't reach out to me. Yeah. I know that they're grown as humans and they have shit too. So,
I'm with you,
so no, I don't feel like I should be accountable because I'm the strong friend.
Now,
I'm a fucking human being.
Right. Now, I only say that because I don't think we shouldn't hold them to the standard to expect us to be that strong friend. You know what I mean? I just feel like if we're that strong friend, we should be that whether they understand it or not. You know what I mean? And that's
what does that mean all the time though. Like that's the whole point. A strong friend is just someone who has superpowers, but what about that kryptonite?
That brings me back to like what I was saying, like the whole 2019. I literally had my best year, financially, and I didn't talk to nobody. My friends,
that's dope.
My friends knew what was up. Like they knew, like, you know what, we'll just let E be because she might be going through some shit. And at the end of the year, I actually had a meeting with all of them. I gave them a gift, and I because I appreciated them being who they are and allowing me to be, and still being my friend, and not being like, girl, what's up with you? You can't call me. You know what I mean? Like if I got those phone calls from my friends, I would be like, who? Bye. Like I'm not even interested in this type of conversation. So, having that conversation the other day, when I'm like, yo, we in a pandemic, I got shit, and my grandmother just died. Like, I'm really thinking like all of this, like you really want, like you really feel some type of way because you call who you want to call. But no, I got shit, and I'm still dealing with losing the person I love. So why are you even, like, why would you even be sweating me about that? So I definitely think that people need to understand that we are all human. I'm used to being the one to save people's lives, you know what I mean, and guide them and whatever. But sometimes I need a minute, and I don't have. This year is one of those times. So
okay, y'all.
I don't know. Yeah,
what y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Past my COVID bedtime.
We know it's
my quarantine bedtime.
I know my eyes getting low.
Yeah, I have gone to sleep so early and waking up so dang early. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I go to bed early and I wake up early, but I go back to sleep if I don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
No,
all right.
I try to keep up. And I've been watching not the Jeffersons, the Different Strokes. It's such a great show.
Oh, I did see that.
It's such a great
show where she had bulimia. I saw that the other day.
But it's such a great.
She's trying to get her black card back.
Watching the whole series,
right? Different shows.
Yeah.
What was one of the phrases in different shows? What was one of the phrases in different shows? It's your chance.
You might be able to get the card back.
If anybody out there is bored and like watching that show as an adult is like a life changer, and it will tug on your heartstrings every single episode. Okay. It's completely different than watching it as a kid.
I liked Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. That was liberating. Just seeing a woman.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't like the ending though. It was too abrupt.
I know that made me mad.
Yeah, I like that.
Wait, what was that?
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom with Viola and Chadwick. Chadwick.
Yeah.
Viola did a great job
in there.
I thought it was something totally different.
Oh, did you?
Monique, Monique being her petty self, posted a picture of her and Queen Latifah because they played that role. I'm like, why didn't you post a picture of Viola? What, you trying to be shady?
You already answered your question. You
said let her have a palm tree. I think she in California. Let her have a palm tree. Listen, it's been fun. I like the way we closing out 2020 on In Your Ear Radio After Dark. Listen, y'all, I got a bunch of surprises for you guys in January 2021. I'm so excited about that. But this has been the highlight of my December, being with you guys tonight. This has been a real good conversation.
Yay.
Shout out to Rell and Keyopp for joining us.
Yes.
Rell got a book, y'all. So don't forget.
With his poetry.
Yeah, he has a book. I bought it.
He didn't even mention it. That's what's up. All right, Rell. Rell, he's a poet for real. He about that life.
He's talented. He's talented. Super talented.
Yeah, Queen G. I will appreciate her coming in and sharing her commentary, and her story moved me. You just never know what people are going through, y'all. You just never know. We judge people on the surface. We make up our mind about them, but then when you hear their story, for me, I just melt inside because it's like everybody has a story. And who knew? And you just have appreciation for people for being honest and telling their truth, because everybody that has a story ain't sharing. They let people just think what they want to think. But when you share your story, it helps somebody. So it's everything to me. My day ones, for sure. All y'all my day ones. All y'all been supporting me since day one and keeping me motivated when I felt like this isn't what I wanted to do. Y'all said the right words to keep me on track. So I appreciate y'all for that. And final words, 2 words. I don't know. Just say it real quick because we got to get up out of here. Miss Trish, you first.
Y'all know I ain't changed. We all we got, y'all.
All righty,
that was more than 2 words.
I know, but we're gonna get it back. You want to try to get your black card back, lady.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
Thank you. Love yourself. All right, first caller.
Yeah, check on your strong friends. Again, check on your strong friends, period.
That's what's up. And I just want you guys to know that I love and appreciate y'all. And if I could say anything, just keep on. You might have a bad day, but tomorrow is a whole new day. Love y'all. Bless y'all. See y'all 2021, baby. What's up?
Yeah.